Hello everybody, my name is Oliver, you can call me Ollie, and today we are in a very special place in Sichuan province, a place called Dujiangyan. Now it is inside a panda valley and we're going to be looking at the giant pandas and the red pandas, so stay tuned for the whole live stream. Now we are using a 5G backpack today to do this live stream, and that enables us to have a very strong and stable connection to bring you this live broadcast around this panda's natural habitat. Now you can probably see, oh actually just coming across a sleeping panda here. Looks like a very nice habitat. He looks like he's having a very chill time. And you can see I'm holding a cute little panda toy. Now you're probably wondering why. That is because we're having a question and answer session during this live stream. So make sure you stay tuned because there's going to be 4 lucky winners from each Facebook, Twitter and YouTube where you can get your hands on one of these cute little things. If not, I might have to take it home myself. Alright, so we are going to be joined very shortly by a panda expert who I'm going to try and ask all the questions that you would like to know the answers to. So let's get going with that. And here we are joined by Doris.
Yeah, hi.
If you want to say hello to the viewers.
Hello guys.
And this is my first time here, so I'm kind of looking forward to finding out more about these pandas.
Yep.
So this is a panda valley.
Yes, it is Panda Valley.
And I'd love to know, do these pandas have, like, do you name them? Do you know each individual panda?
Yes, of course, and each panda have their own name. Yeah, and this one is named Meilan.
Meilan?
Meilan.
It's a very pretty name.
Yes, and this one is female. So
it's a female?
Yeah, she is 5 years old now.
And what are the different characteristics between the females and the males?
For the simple, you can see the body size. The female smaller.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And how old do pandas live to?
In the wild, the lifespan for the giant panda is around 25 to 30, and in the captivity it's around 25 to 30.
Oh, okay.
And in the wild is around 18 to 20.
18 to 20. So they're living longer when they're in captivity. Well,
yes.
This doesn't seem to resemble captivity because it's quite a nice environment for them to live, right?
Yes.
And I can see that this panda here is enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to come and interact with us.
Yes, and she is the superstar here, and she has a lot of fans.
A lot of fans?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's lovely. And what do they eat? I know they eat bamboo.
Yes.
But do they eat anything else apart from bamboo?
So besides the bamboo, we also give the panda cake, apple, and sometimes we'll give some pumpkin for the panda here.
So panda cake, is that just for their birthday, or do they eat panda cake every day?
No, it's a special food for the panda. So it's made of the corn, it's made of the rice, soybean. So we mix it together to steam it. And today we also will introduce the panda feeder. We'll do this job to feed the panda cake for the panda.
Oh, we're going to see them being fed?
Yes.
Oh, I'd quite like to see that, yeah.
Here.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Just as they are being fed, let me tell you that we are going to be giving you the chance to win one of these lucky toy pandas whilst you see the panda being fed his panda cake. What technology are we using to broadcast this live stream? Let us know on YouTube, Facebook or Twitter, and at the end of the live stream we'll be picking the lucky winners so you can take this home. So what are they feeding him now? Is that the panda cake?
Yeah, and she's eating the panda cake. It's so yummy.
It looks like she's enjoying it, yeah. It seems like they have quite a well-rounded diet in this panda valley.
Yeah.
And I see he's going to feed him an apple in a minute.
Yes, fruit. Yeah. So after the Meilan finished the panda cake, and we try to feed the apple for the.
So is Meilan always trying to interact with the visitors of this valley, or does she go and hide sometimes? Do they go to bed?
Mostly, and she will go outside to play and eating, so visitors can see the very adorable Meilan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she looks like quite a cute one. She's trying to interact with everyone.
Yes.
And pose for the photos.
Yes, superstar.
Okay, so you have red pandas here too, right?
Yes, we have red panda for a region area.
Okay.
So like we go their home to visit the red pandas.
I don't think I've ever seen a red panda in my life, so I'm quite excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, red panda I think is more cute.
What's the difference? Do they apart from the color, do they have any other differences?
Like the tail. So
Okay.
the Gen Panda, you can see very short tail. It's the white color, but for the red panda, it's a long tail. So on the tail is around 9 to 12 rings. Yes. So the size for the red panda is smaller.
Oh, okay.
Like the fox or like the family cat.
They look so cute. I just want to give them a big cuddle. I want to give them a big hug. I want to take
No, so like the both the Gen Panda and the red panda, they are aggressive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Oh, I didn't know that.
we don't suggest you to touch them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as I'm aware, they are an endangered species. So, are you trying to encourage them to, breed by having them all together, to hopefully get the population higher?
Yeah. So for the Gen Panda, we have already engaged them to the vulnerable, not the really endangered animals now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we do the job to try to, like we have more Gen Pandas. And for the red panda, it's belong to the second class. Yeah, we try to protect them. So
Okay.
not really endangered.
Oh, okay.
Endangered animals.
So how many pandas are there in this Panda Valley?
In Panda Valley now we have around 10 Gen Pandas, and we have around 20 to 30 red pandas. In the whole world, just in China, the Gen Pandas just live in China. So in the wild, the number is around 1,864. So by now, in captivity, the number for the Gen Panda is around 673.
Okay.
So,
And this looks like quite a nice environment. I mean, it is a little bit rainy today, and I wondered, in the sort of colder weather, do the pandas like to go and sit in a warm place, or do they like to come out and play in this weather?
so the Gen Panda, they prefer the weather like this,
Oh, really?
cooler. Yeah, so around 10 to 18, Celsius temperature is very perfect weather for the Gen Panda.
I see. So
Yeah.
that's why their natural habitat is Chengdu, right?
They don't like the hot weather. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, it's a good job the sun doesn't shine much here. Then it's perfect for the pandas.
Yes, so like in the summer, and we also give them big ice to cool the weather. And sometimes we'll sleep on ice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think if you were to ask everyone in the world what their favourite animal is, I think a lot of them would probably tell you it's a panda.
Yes.
I think everyone likes the pandas here in Chengdu.
Yeah.
And as this is my first time here, I'm looking forward to exploring the whole park and seeing how many we can find. Is Meilan the one who comes out the most? Is she the guest star, or do the other ones like to come out and play too?
It come up other also like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we also have this one. Read this one. Yeah, this one is from is born in other country, maybe sleep somewhere over there, and on the trip.
Oh yeah.
And this one called the
Duh.
yeah the.
Is this one a boy or a girl?
It's a male. And we also do some international cooperation with other countries.
Oh right.
Yeah, some panda will come back, and maybe sometimes we can speak other countries' language. Yes, bilingual
okay.
panda, right?
Okay, so that's brought me on to another interesting point. Do they respond to you when you call their name? Do they know that you're talking to them?
Sometimes the panda is familiar with the panda keeper's voice, the smell. So when the panda keeper called their name, they will respond.
Oh, okay. That's probably because they recognize the food, right?
Yeah.
They recognize that they're going to be fed.
Yes, and I think Gen Panda is very smart animal. So they know you if you treat them like friends. Yeah. So we have very relationship with the Gen Panda.
Right, that's a good point, yeah, because you said they can be quite aggressive.
Yes.
But if you get to know them, I'm sure they're not aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're the person who feeds them. I'm sure they're very friendly with you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So do you ever feed the pandas yourself, or is that other people?
Oh no, I'm not the panda keeper, so it's not my job to feed the panda directly.
Okay.
So we have the professional panda keeper.
You're just the panda expert who I can ask all the questions, is that right?
I know the panda, and I will. It's my joy to introduce some knowledge to the tourists.
Yeah, for sure. Are you a Chengdu local?
Yeah,
So this-
Dujiangyan local.
So this must be something that you're quite proud of, I imagine.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Gen Panda is very adorable. They're cute animals. So if you come to Chengdu and you must. Oh, you should.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, you
You
should
definitely
too.
have to come
Yeah,
here.
yeah, to say the Gen Panda.
Yeah. So next we have a few team members who are in a panda national park, and they're going to be trying to find some in the wild. So let's see how they get up to on that quest. Enjoy.
Hi Oliver, this is Manzita
This is Elena. We're now at the Sichuan Dujiangyan Management Station
of
Giant
Panda
National Park.
Yes, as you can see, we are in this big forest. And the reason we were here because there are actual wild pandas living here. And if we get lucky, we hope we can see any of them. Okay, and today we are going to explore the forest with Mr. Zhao, our ranger. Okay, 可以介绍一下您自己。
大家好。
说 Hello，
可以说一下 Hello。
Hello， 大家好。我是大熊猫国家公园都江堰广播总站龙池站巡抚员张登平。
Welcome. Okay.
Welcome, and today we are going to explore this wild forest with Mr. Zhao. And we would like to know what kind of things we need to bring, or are we going to go like this bare hand?
Because we see that Miss Zhang had a big bag here, but we don't have anything, right? 张先生，你可以跟我们介绍一下你背包里有什么？
我们上山巡抚一般就是带的是 GPS 终端。
您的这个
可以跟我们展示一下吗？因为我们可能都不太了解。Because we didn't know right what the things right. Okay. 哦。
Oh, wow.
这是我们上山巡抚的这个记录表格，比如说发现了啥珍稀动植物之类，都要做这个点位、经纬度的记录。
Oh, they have a note, like the board, so they can locate.
这是红外线相机安装。
This is the wildlife camera, so they can install.
And we are going to install it.
这个山上，这个是我们的照相机。
This is a camera.
Okay.
And
Enough things.
这是 GPS。
this is
This is GPS.
Wow,
I
this
think
is
everybody
GPS.
can hear it, right?
There's a screen and with them
这
buttons.
是红外线相机的电池。
Uh-huh,
There's the
batteries.
button.
这是我们上山巡抚必备的。
Okay. These are the equipment that we must take
还有
in
我
the
们的
forest.
巡抚终端手机。这是我们巡抚的终端手机，上面下载有地图，等于是我们走哪段路，上面都有记录，然后我们要上传的。
They have the app, the map of this forest, so can help them to.
Now we can see that it's a Huawei phone, right?
Okay.
And
Oh yes. Wait a second. I saw something here. 不好意思，我看到一些塑料袋，可以拿一下吗？See, I saw some plastic bags, but 这个是
用来做什么的呢？
这个是我们用来做什么的呢？
你们猜一下？
可能是放饼干。
也有可能是就是想把垃圾带走，因为你可能会有一些东西留在这边，然后就不要污染嘛，对不对？
也许我们先上山，也许都不能碰到。
就是都不是吗？
都不是。
都不是. Okay, we
Okay.
were wrong. Okay, maybe you guys can take a guess. What are these plastic bags for? But he only told us if we get lucky, we might gonna use them. Okay, so all of you guys can give it a try and guess what are these plastic bags for. And if you get lucky, can guess the correct answer, then at the end we might have a little surprise for you.
当当。
Okay, now let's put it in the bag.
Yeah, let's put it in the bag. And we saw you. 我们看到你就是有很多装备，然后其实我们自己也带了2个小装备。
对，我们的装备非常的简陋。We only have 2 plastic bags, and the raincoat we just borrowed from them.
Yeah,
so these plastic bags for our shoes. Hope we're not gonna slip or fall down. Okay, now let's try to put this on.
How to do that?
Okay, I can
Oh
help
my
you.
god. You can help me? Okay. Thank you.
在这里。
Yes.
Oh. Actually, it's kind of cute, right?
Really?
Really.
Okay. Let me try
I'm
this
happy.
one. As long as you don't get wet. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Now we all packed. Now we can go. Let's go. 是这边吗？
哦，可以，那我们开始。
您带路吗？
哦，行。
您走前面。哎，张师傅，我看到这个有护栏，这个是干什么用的呀？
这个是圈养熊猫儿的围栏。这个是圈养的熊猫儿，把放在这里是半野化，半野化放一段时间之后又全野化，全野化就可以脱这个围栏走，
就出去了是吧？
就野外了。
Okay. So I guess this is for some pandas that
for the
new
freshman,
here,
right?
and the kind of new here, so they need some time to get used to the environment. So they put them in this side, and then they got used to the environment, and then they just release them so they can completely go to the go back to the file, the forest.
那我们继续走吧。
好吧。
哎呀，哎呦。
是不是每个路都这么难走吗？
慢一点。我们跟不上。Oh my gosh!
Oh,
give me a hand.
Wow, it's really difficult to walk in here.
It's my first time.
This is a lot of cardio.
Oh my gosh.
哎，小心点，来，我捏吧。
啊，谢谢。
小心点，注意安全啊！路面滑得很。
Oh wow!
I think we should hold everybody's hand, right?
Bag is gonna fall off. I don't think our plastic bag is gonna help us hold on. It's already.
Seems like we didn't prepare the well, right?
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Okay.
这边的路一般都这么难走吗？
还有比这个更难走的。这条路是算最好走的路。我们群湖的路。
So the ranger just told us this is the most easy
我们要走这儿过去了。
path.
Who can
We
believe
are
in that?
currently walking. This is the easiest one.
Oh
so
my
I
gosh!
can't imagine the rest of them. How
Since
difficult are
I-
they?
Oh, I cannot. Oh my god!
No, it's really
小心点。
slippery everywhere.
注意
Oh
安
my
全啊！
god!
这个很滑。It's very.
So slippery everywhere.
这条线是 我们前个星期，
上个星期
基本上每个星期这条线我们都要走一次、质量次或3次的遍。
Okay.
1到2次、3次。
Mr. John said that they must go this route like 3 times a week.
So he was here last week.
Oh, seems like we got an easier way. Finally.
Okay. Finally, we have some
Finally.
stairs. Good.
哎，张师傅，你们一般巡山要做什么工作啊？
我们巡山一般就是以防偷猎、盗猎，一个断砍滥伐、护林防火这一点，一个是另外我们有偶尔有一次上山的时候，我们是安装红外线相机，是那次是山上是待的最久的一次，待了30天。
So one of their daily work is go even higher to the mountain, let's say 3,000 meters away,
Yeah.
right? And to install wildlife camera. And he just mentioned that the longest time they stayed in this mountain was 30 days.
No, 3 to 4 days.
3 to 4 days.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, mistake.
3 to 4 days, but that's also like really a long time. So today we walked this route, and just like Mr. Zhao just mentioned, this is the easiest path, easiest route of all, and we already feel like we walked a lot, right?
Yeah,
那
like
我
we
们大概
spent
走
2
了，
hours walking and
大概我们走了多久呢？这个刚才我们走的这段距离。
这段路我们走的距离是走了1/5都没走到。
Oh my God! This is we only walked 1/5 of this route, and we already feel like we did so much cardio.
like
And I'm already
exhausted.
sweating, right? So from this we can feel like it's very difficult, their job, their daily job. Now, let's keep going.
Keep going.
Let's go even higher.
这里面吗 Let's go. Oh my god. Manny, I don't think the plastic bag we prepared useful. Right? 哎，张师傅，这是什么地方啊？
这个地方是小草坡，这片区域是熊猫活动的最频繁的地方。
这里海拔多高啊？我感觉好像我们走了蛮久了。
这里海拔是2600、7了。
Oh, can you hear that? We are now at the area that pandas usually live in, and the altitude now is like 2,070 and no 2,700 about. Oh my god.
Oh yes, and we can see there are many bamboos and very difficult to walk.
怎么了，张师傅？
美女，那我们给你们看这是什么？
I think he saw something interesting.
这个是什么动物的粪便吗？
这个是粪便吗？
有没有猜？
看着
看这个
很不太像粪便。It really don't look like feces, but is it like from forward like wild pigs? 是野猪的吗？
不对，
But it must be big animals, I think.
I think it should be from the big animal. 那应该是大一点的动物的。
这是野生大熊猫粪便。
Oh wow!
Oh my god.
So these are the feces from wild giant panda.
It's my first time seeing
Yeah, it's also my first time, and big.
Oh my God.
Yes, I don't know how to describe this, but yes,
kind
they
of-
are big.
that. Okay, a new word for me.
Oh, so this is the plastic bag.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
we
the
will just
plastic bag
run.
is for the feces of the giant panda. So if you, like me, you guessed this is for cookies, then you were wrong. Okay, this is something that I did not expect. 那我们，那你们这个塑料袋装，然后咱们要带回去吗？
就是把带回去，我们要做记录，把带回去，经过经验提炼，提炼出来之后才能确定这只熊猫是否健康，有多大的年龄。
哦，so
还可
we
以
gonna
它的年龄也可以测出是吧？
年龄也可以吗？
对。
Wow, so we are going to take these feces with us, and then our professionals, they can use the DNA from these feces, so they will know is this panda healthy
Yes,
enough,
yeah.
even how old is he? This is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So even the age they can find out.
哎，但是张师傅，你怎么知道这个是大熊猫的粪便呀？怎么分辨出来的了？
这个就一眼就辨出来。问题是我们搞这方面是大熊猫粪便跟其他粪便不一样，你看嘛，两头呈锥形。
Oh,
哦，锥形啊。
你看嘛，它吃的东西。
so it's not like
这个就是主要以作业、作茎为主，对不对？它的粪便不一样。
竹叶，嗯。
so
竹
it's
子
not completely square. It's not like a ball. It's more shaped like it has two more tips on two sides, I guess. Yes.
And we can easily recognize that in there we can see the materials of bamboos.
那它们的那个味道一般会比较强吗？就是闻起来
闻起来，这个熊猫的粪便还有个清香味，
啊
它没得臭味。
啊
熊猫主要是以着子为主，
啊！
它的消化能力相当快，它是基本上是边吃边拉。只要熊
就像鸟一样，
熊猫过的地方，
像
基本
鸟一样。
都有石阶，只要有石阶的地方就能看到粪便。
So he just told us pandas they have really fast digestion system. So they practically yes, like going to the bathroom all the time.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is their feces do not smell.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
do not smell. And even
bamboo.
he just said like smells a little bit fresh,
Yeah.
like smell like bamboo. Okay,
Okay,
this
the
is very
smell of
interesting.
nature, right? 你在记录什么呀？
经纬度，地点。
So he is keeping track on the specific location that
啥
we
子时
found,
间发现的？
the name of the place, and I guess
And what time he found?
even the
feces.
time.
Yep.
It's very detailed information.
哎，那您是每一次收集都要做一个记录是吧？
对。
那您的手机是用来
如果是发现了动物的这个粪便，跟这个尸体跟这个足迹都要做记录。
足迹也要。
不光是动物，但是
足迹
就发现的
您是怎么
真实植物
看
还是要做记录。
足迹
OK
会有脚印吗？
free
您是看它
脚
的
迹是比如说这个路上就比较这个有带泥的地方，有点湿的地方，那个动物走过的地方就有足迹。像比如这个地方比较硬的地方，动物就留不下足迹。
Okay, Mr. Zhang just said that he do not only do the record for the animals' feces, but also their footprint, and not only for animals, but also for the rare plant that we never seen before.
Okay, also for the real plants.
那会不会证明我们有可能在这附近能看到大熊猫啊？
说不准，
说不准是吧
说不？准。但是大熊猫的嗅觉好，但是它多远就闻到生人的
So
气味。
actually, we cannot tell based on the feces we found there won't be any pandas because he just told us that the smell, the sense of the panda is really sensitive. So they can smell us, smell human beings.
哎，但是我刚刚看您包里还有个红外相机，您会不会通过这个相机也来检测它的这样的一个活动路线呀？
可以。我们这个山上就是准备把这台相机就安在这个山上。
哦，我们待会儿就会去安一个相机是吧？
对。
在这附近是适合安装吗？
适宜安装，但是这片区域也是熊猫活动的区域。
So later we're gonna try to install the wildlife camera with our Mr. Zhao. So even though it's very difficult for us to see wild giant pandas with our own eyes, but still based on all the traces we found, we can feel the living around us.
Yes, of course. And the pandas may never know that we are human beings, like rangers, like Mr. Zhang. We made pretty much effort to protect them. 那张先生，我们待会儿去哪呀？
我们去安装红外线相机。
我们去安装。
So
Okay, let's go
we are going
to
to install the wildlife camera.
Yes, of course.
Sounds
Let's
cool.
go.
Let's go.
走吧。
Be careful.
Okay, be careful.
小心。
所以竹子干了是这个颜色的。啊，我的脚。
Oh, my plastic bag.
You lost your shoe.
就在这里面。
we could have better preparation, right?
Yes.
这里是人装一台红外线相机。
哎，为什么在这里装啊？
这儿有一条熊猫活动的路线。
是这一条吗？
对。
Also, there's a trace of giant panda. So we
We're
can
gonna
install the
install
wild camera here. Okay. 那我们这个 OK， 我们好想试一下。
我们
I
可
also
以
wanna
试
try.
一下嘛？
可以
Can
可
we
以
have a try? Yeah, we're not gonna. 这个要什么技术嘛？还是怎么？
这个要
怎么做呢
食指。
食指。
对。
食指。
食指这个录像加拍照，食指年月日时间还有灵敏度。
灵敏度啊。
对。设置这个录像拍的录像的时间。
哦，要提前设置好。
对，提前设置好。
So they need to set before they install the wildlife camera that about the video how
安装的时候安装的高度，就比如说你拍哪种动物，要安装的高度不一样。
那我们这个高度是？
这个高度是怎么定的？
这个高度主要就是拍熊猫。
跟它差不多高吗？
跟熊猫差不多高吧。
一般就是平地起来有70-80公分、80公分的样子，就适宜照熊猫。
这个跟熊猫差不多高。
对，然后跟地面大概70-80公分。
对。
So
对。
Normally, when they install the wildlife camera, it's based on the height of the animal. So today we are going to install this for pandas.
Yeah, it's only for white pandas.
So this is the similar height of the pandas.
So it's about like 70 or 80 centimeters. 我们可以试一下吗？
可以。要绑起来吗？
要绑的。
先把绑紧之后，然后才使劲，然后再安装电池。
Oh, so we need to tie it first, and put the battery second, and then set rest of the.
可以。
然后这个设置要怎么设置呢？
先把电池装进。
电池。
Okay, we need 4 batteries for this. Oh wow! So inside there's a screen.
一共需要8个。
8颗电池。
We're gonna need 8 batteries for this.
装反，这边是负极。
Okay, it's my first time.
这底，对，这是开机设置。
Oh, this is turn it on here. Oh wow! So
这是菜单。
Okay, menu.
按好嘛，按嘛。
Okay, now
这是菜单，在下调张数。
一般可以设置几张呢？
一般设置3张。
一般3张啊。
Normally can set 3.
上面就是别人录像的长度。
这是连续拍3张照片吗？还是？
对，连续拍3张之后，然后它是中间的相隔的秒数这边这可以调成3秒、4秒、5秒都可以。等于是3张拍了之后，就是间隔5秒之后，它一根录像。录像如果你把它调成40秒、50秒之后，它50秒之后，它又如果有动物在继续点，它又继续拍。
So this camera can automatically know there's wildlife animal.
It's an infrared camera, right? So it's gonna take like 3 photos at the same time. And then it's gonna keep to the record mode. Usually it's now we can take a record about 51 seconds, but we can set it to.
Okay.
Yeah, we can set it.
Oh,
but now
can you see my
这儿
hand?
这个调上来就对了，
I can
它
see
就
my
开始
fingers.
拍了。
Oh, it's already now it's already recording. Okay.
Yeah,
So
look at here.
it looks like a human's
It's already
face.
recording now. 这样就可以了，是吧？
就可以了，已经安装好了。
那它这个一般可以用多久啊？还是它一直可以用啊？
一般就是用上30个月，这个电池都没得问题。
3-4个月。
对，这个
It can use for 3 to 4 months.
都完全没得问题。
上千张照片。
对。
Oh, so normally it can use for 3 to 4 months and take thousands of pictures.
Yes.
Oh wow.
那你们就是大概每3、4个月就上来换一次电池是吧？
是，对。
哦
So they're gonna come here every 3 to 4 months to change the battery.
Yep.
跟
哎，
他以前
我听说您之前是已经工作了10来年了，那您之前其实是没有这个相机的，对吧？
对对对，但是有了这些红外线相机之后，有了这些啥子技术科技之后，但是给我们这个巡抚工作带来多大的方便，对不对？比如说像现在我们的电脑一般就能看到我们这个山上的动物啊，比如说啥子人为的破坏啊，给我们提供了很大的方便。
So because of the technology, it brought significant influence, like good influence to them. Because compared to the old days, now they can see the
Like
data, the pictures,
in
just
a
sitting computer. Yes, so that will also provide them better condition to protect.
Yeah, not only to observe the wild animals like wild pandas, but also to predict,
yes.
to protect them because they can see if there's any human beings come here to do the
Damage,
illegally,
yes.
yeah, to do the damage, to do the hunting. Okay.
Yeah, that's very cool. Because of our technology, I think it brought significant changes, especially for our rangers. It improved how they range and also how they protect our wild forest. Right?
And yeah, and even though it's very cold here, but the power of technology can make this place and make the rangers much more warmer.
And we also thank you, Mr. Zhao.
Yes.
So this is our adventure for today, and back to you, Oliver. Bye.
All right, we are back, me and Doris, lucky for you. Thank you to those who just went through the forest, because that didn't look so easy. But I'm wondering, did you guys guess what the sealed bags were for? I'd like to know, so let me know down in the comments. I'm sure you are learning something on this journey, and everyone will be panda experts like you.
Yes.
But where are we now, Doris?
Now we are in the red panda free region area.
So we're going to see the red pandas, and these,
Yes.
as we've talked about before, they are very different
Yes.
to the giant pandas.
Yes.
So I'm kind of hoping we get to see some, because it's not guaranteed, right, that we're going to see any in this area.
Yes, it's sometimes and they will hide somewhere, so we need to find them, especially on the tree.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we can see some being fed and see some in the wild here, because I'm kind of looking forward to it. So you mentioned before they have long tails, right?
Yes, long tail.
And
They're the giant panda.
I'd like to know, you said the giant pandas eat panda cake, they eat apples, and they eat, of course, bamboo. Do the red pandas eat anything different, or do they have the same diet?
In captivity, we feed the same food as the giant panda. But in the wild, the red panda also eats some like birds
Oh, really?
and bird's egg. Yeah, so it's more food than the giant panda.
Right, and do you think they would try and eat those here as well? If they're available, if they find a bird or they find some insects or some eggs, would they eat those too?
Yes, yes. Oh,
Okay.
over there you can see.
Oh, we can see two here.
Yes.
Wow. This is the first time I'm actually seeing them, so yeah, they look very different to the giant pandas, right? It's almost... If you didn't tell me there were red pandas, then I might not even realise.
Yeah.
So what's this one at the top eating?
It's pumpkin.
Oh, they're eating pumpkin, are they? Looks
Yes.
pretty tasty to me. They've got like these little cute faces, haven't they?
Yes.
They look almost kind of like big cats.
It's like the family big cat.
So this area has obviously been put here.
It's the food feeding spot here.
Oh,
So,
it's a feeding spot.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah,
Looks like a little play area as well with the...
yeah.
It's kind of like a swing.
Yeah. Like their toys to play and to exercise.
Okay. I'm wondering, do they like to play? Do they like to play with each other?
Yes.
Yeah?
You can live in small groups, so sometimes they will play with each other.
Yeah, okay. And, oh, we've got another one here, just
Yes.
literally right next to us.
So it means we invite hi. We go to the red panda's home. So
I shouldn't touch them though, right?
no, don't touch, please.
Why is that? Are they not?
Because the animals, they have their own aggressive behavior. So because we are not so familiar with them, we are not friend with them. So please don't touch.
So what's this one eating here?
Apple.
He's eating apple, is he?
Yeah.
They pick it up just like a human.
Yeah. Because in the front paw they have the 6 fingers.
Right, so it's
Six
easy
fingers
for them to hold things.
to hold these.
And they've got like a bit of yellow around their ears as well.
Yeah.
They have different colours, multiple different colours.
Yeah.
Our audience want to see more of the red panda.
Oh, okay, well, come back. Let's see more of them. Got these cute little eyes, long whiskers. So they got 6 fingers on each paw, have they?
Yes.
I wonder if he feels nervous with all of us being around. Or do you think they're quite used to it?
They're quite used to it. Yeah, and because this one is good friend to the panda keeper.
Oh, okay.
The red panda's keeper.
Yeah,
So,
because there's so many people around them all
Yeah.
the time.
yeah.
Oh, I can see the panda keeper's actually
Yes.
feeding them on the way. Are you able to tell if this one is a boy or a girl just by looking at it?
No, it can't.
It's a bit more difficult.
Yeah, it's more difficult to tell the gender.
Now, when would they sense like danger? What would they feel is dangerous? Like if people were to go and touch them, would they think that is like a threat?
Yes. So when they feel in danger, they stand up. To
Oh, right,
To
okay.
stand up their body to show
Stand
their
up
body.
tall.
Yeah. Just I'm so strong.
I saw a video of 2 red pandas,
Yeah.
and one of them kind of scared the other one away from the food. Mm-hmm. So do they kind of compete for food?
Yes, of course. So in a small group, they sometimes will compete with each other for the food. Yeah. So here, the small group, they have their own winner, their king. Yeah, to hold this one. So the king, the winner one, will eat the food first. Oh, be careful.
Oh, it's coming right by me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when we see the red panda, we also keep the distance. Should keep distance with the red pandas.
It's amazing how they can just climb with such balance right up that beam.
Yeah, very good balance. They can climb this.
They're really quite majestic,
Yeah.
like a cat.
Yes.
They're amazing animals, and like I've never seen any before today. We don't see any in my country, in England.
Really?
No. So it's nice to be able to see that kind of animal.
Yeah. So besides here, like in Bhutan or Lipa, they also have the red pandas too.
Where, sorry?
Other countries also have the red panda.
Oh, really? So they're
Yes.
not only in Chengdu.
No.
This is where they originate from, right?
Yeah.
He's almost the same size as this one I'm holding here. It's so very cute.
Yeah. So the body length of the red panda is 40 to 60 lengths. Yeah, centimeter.
And what are the like personality differences between the red panda and the giant panda? Because just by seeing this one here, they look a lot more active.
Yeah, more active.
I think I've seen that red panda move more than one big panda would move in a whole day.
Their lifestyle is different. Yeah,
to
so
be.
this one is more active too.
So you always see them going around this area, and this area is quite big, so it's kind of like a big playground for them, right?
Yes.
Well, he's getting quite an audience here. So the feeder can feed him apple, but it's not ideal if like other people start feeding him, right?
No.
Because they get used to the person who feeds them.
Yeah.
Almost like any animal. Any animal is very friendly to the person who feeds them.
Mm-hmm.
Approaching a little.
Do you think I could have one as a pet? Can I take him home?
No.
Is that not allowed?
Yeah, that's allowed.
It really is amazing how they can just balance all the way across there. It's not even like they're slightly off balance. They're not nervous about it at all. I mean, besides here, there's like quite a long drop.
Yes.
You know, if we were on there, we'd be very scared to fall off, right?
But for them, it's okay because sometimes they will climb up to the top of the tree.
Maybe we can go and stand by the feeder over here. You can get a... Now with some animals it's not good to look directly into their eyes because that can be quite threatening.
Yes.
Do you know if that's the case with
It's okay.
the little red panda here?
It's okay to look at their eye, but you can see the sharp nail. It will scratch you if you get too close.
They do look sharp.
Yes.
It amazes me how they really just use they're like hands, aren't they? They just use their hands to
Yeah, it's
eat
so
like we do.
delicious, yummy. It's semi-close the eye.
Bless.
Okay, the keeper's here.
You can take a look at the basket. The basket.
南德风的，南德风的。
that's all.
就是你可以告诉大家看一下，
哦，OK
这边有个楼，全是苹果，就是为小朋友，就给这个，我不拍你的脸，我就拍这个，拍这个苹果，给大家看一下。饲养员平常都是这样的。
There's people getting a lot of pictures with her and stuff. Bless. It's got like the long yellow fur here. Now, are you able to tell, like, specifically which one this is? Do you have names for them,
Yes,
like you
yes.
have names for the big pandas?
Yes, the red panda also have their own name, but just the panda keeper can tell which one is.
Okay, so yeah, it
Yeah,
might
it's
be
hard.
difficult.
It's
if you
hard for
don't-
me to tell which one.
Right, if you don't see them every day. And how many of the red pandas again do you have here?
Here we have 20 to 30.
20 to 30.
Yeah.
I think this one's a bit of a poser. He likes having an audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Superstar.
Yeah. And do they all have the same features? Like I can see this one around the tail has
Yes.
like some black and some red fur
Yes.
around the tail. Do they all have that?
Yeah, and on their tail they have 9 to 12 rings, so it's different. You can count how many rings on their tail. Oh,
Well, how kind of heavy are they?
to around 10 to 12.
10 to 12 kilograms.
Oh, sorry, the weight is around 7 to 8 kilo.
7 to 8 kilograms.
Yes,
That's pretty heavy.
and the life span for the red panda is around 10 to 12.
Oh, 10 to 12 years. Okay,
Yes.
because the giant panda is about double that, right?
Yes.
All right. It's similar to like a small dog then. How easy would it be to come across red pandas in the wild?
What?
Like if you wanted to have a search in the forest, how easy would it be to see a red panda?
Red panda, also we can identify them from the poop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so red panda's poop is smaller than the giant pandas because they also eat bamboo leaves. The bamboo leaf is dark green. You can tell from the poop and can tell the red panda live here.
I mean, as we saw in the previous segment, the feces of the giant panda is pretty big. So
Yes.
I'd be quite surprised to see that come out of a small little red panda like
Yes.
that. Yeah. And when they want to like go to sleep, do they sleep on the floor or do they like? I imagine they probably like to get up quite high.
Up to a height to the top of the tree for their safety. So and because then they are so small, right? And they will go up of the tree and to hide themselves. And from down to look up, you can see the limbs. For limbs is dark color, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it can hide themselves, protect themselves.
Oh, so that's like a camouflage. So if they were to be in the tree, when you look up at them, it's not so
Yes.
easy to see them, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what kind of thing would be seen as a... What kind of thing would a red panda be seen as prey? Like what would eat a red panda in the wild?
What?
So obviously they've they've got these dark legs, right? So they don't get seen from the ground,
Yes.
from predators, from things that want to eat it.
Yes.
But what kind of things would want to eat a red
Like
panda?
the snow leopard and some
right.
golden throat cat will attack the red panda.
Oh, I see.
Because they live in the wild, they live the same area as the giant panda. So some animals will attack them too.
I think it's kind of amazing to think, like, all of that goes on in the wild, but we don't see it. You know, it's very difficult to see that happen because a lot of animals are very scared of humans.
Yes.
So if they see any
Just
humans
escape.
around, they'll be gone.
Yeah, gone.
You know? All right, so it is time to move on to the next segment, but before we do, you have to remember you can get your hands on one of these and you have to be answering the question correctly that I'm about to ask you. Now, is the red panda the baby, the cub of a giant panda? Get your answers down in the comments on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook, and you know, you might be able to win one of these. Otherwise, it's going to stay mine. All right, we're moving on to Javi and Claire, who are going to teach us how technology is being used in the wild environment to stop potential fire risks from happening. Okay, so hopefully you enjoy that segment. It's Javi and Claire over there. So we will be back shortly after that to announce the winners of the panda. So make sure you stay tuned until then to see if you are able to get one of these sent to your home. All right, over on to Javi and Claire. Thank you. That's us done for now. Okay, we still have 1 minute to go, so maybe we can chat a little bit more about the red pandas.
Maybe we can go ahead. The panda is waiting for us.
It's waiting for us over there, is it? Okay,
yes.
Well, we can go back and see.
We can see more red pandas.
See more of it.
Yes, ahead.
Seems like there's quite a few people following it. It must be very easy for them to hide in amongst all this bamboo.
Yes.
But they are red, so maybe not the best colour to hide.
Yes.
So I do appreciate Doris being here with us today to teach me all about these pandas, because it was quite difficult for me to, you know, I wanted to understand more, you know, and I need someone who's a lot more knowledgeable than me to teach me about them. So,
it's my player.
All right, so we're moving on to the next segment now with Javi and Claire. We'll see you over there and I'll be back very shortly. Enjoy.
天拿，已经结束了吗？
结束了。
哦，已经结束了，这边已经结束了，已经结束了。
Okay, we can hear you clearly now, Oliver, so we are live.
We are here now.
So, hello everyone, this is my colleague Claire.
Hello everyone.
Hi Claire, and I'm Javi, and today we are in the Longxi Hongkou Natural Reserve, which is I think at 60 kilometers away from Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan province, and we are in this beautiful environment. I don't know about you, Claire, but I'm loving this place.
What a nice view.
It is, and this is a bit foggy today, so it's adding some mystery into the path that we're taking today. So maybe you can tell us, what are we doing today?
We are going to visit someone who's really special. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We're ready. Let's go. It's right here, right?
Yes, I think this is
Good.
his main office.
Okay. Let's get in.
有人在吗？
哦，有人在。
Hello.
好，
Hello，
好
郭师傅你
欢迎
好，
好
我是吴军。This is Javi.
Hi.
好，你好。
So maybe you can introduce me to him a little bit.
Yes, of course. 郭师傅，请你简单介绍一下自己吧。
哦，我是大熊猫国家公园杜源堰管护总站2米管护站的巡抚员管卫，从事护林工作大概前后加起来有10来年了。
This is Mr. Guo Wei, who has been working here for more than 15 years in this station,
That's
in
a
this
long
mountain.
time. So he should know everything about this
Almost
place, right?
everything, I guess.
So what if he introduces a little bit about all this gear that we can see
能不
here?
能帮我们
So,
介绍一下你的这个工作上用的工具？
这是我们防火，这是大熊猫国家公园的那个 防火器材库，等于有很多防火工具。
These are
这也是
the fire. These are the fire extinguishers. This is
这
a
是
kit
组合工具
package.
包，它里面有很多适用于灭火的小工具。等于说，这个是它手头是干粉灭火器，
This is dry powder
这都是用
extinguisher.
于
Okay.
灭火的。消防水袋跟
Water pump.
水泵、防火服。
Fire
这
suits.
是哦。
Okay. So they seem to be really equipped, right, to deal with any kind of fire.
Yeah,
And
they are
this
very
al-
small.
Yeah, it looks like very light, right? It's not like the kind of gear that you would see in a city to extinguish a fire.
I guess maybe because the landscape is very complex and it won't be easy to find some water source anytime they want.
That's true.
So they will need to carry some light
Light
equipment. Yeah.
And I see something there, some machines that maybe he can tell us.
这个就
about.
会做这
是
个啥子？
风力灭火机，等于用于地形不好的地方，等于山势比较陡啊，这些大型机械上去用不到、去不到的地方，我们就用这种风力灭火机来灭火。
This is the wind fires extinguisher. This
Okay.
is used for some fires at the upper side.
Okay, maybe can I try it on or
You
not?
want to try?
I
我
wouldn't
们可
say
以
it's
试一
heavy
下
or
吗？
not,
好
actually.
吧，
We can? Oh, that's cool. Okay,
Seems a little bit heavy.
looks like. How does it work? Is it
哦，
electric?
这个它就
or-
背负式的。
能不能打开我们看一下？
好，
这是开关哇。
Okay.
This is the switch. 哦
等于
They work like with petrol.
它这种是
，Yeah,
You can sense the smell.
yeah,
You can control it with the joystick.
yeah. This
它
is
这是用于少混合有汽油的，有汽油
呀
一个
对
飞机方便那种油加起就好灭火了。等于说
Can I try it on or not?
我们可以背一下不？
可以，
Good, good, good.
Oh,
Fire Ranger.
哎好
It's a little bit
还
heavy.
是不是很重的，它上山就使用。
哇，
Okay, it is heavy. I look like a robot now. So I think now I'm ready to get into the forest.
We're ready.
If I find any fire, I'm ready for it.
Let's see if he can take us together. 对老师，你今天能不能带我们一起去巡一下山？来，我们想体验一下你的工作。
可以可以，
Let's do
这样行。
it. We want us together.
但是你们如果有火种的话，就要先把火种丢在这个位置，你们就可以才能进山。火源是不准进山的，我们。
He said if you are carrying any lighters, such things which could cause fire, you need to hand over before we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Do you have
have
anything which
lighter.
could cause fire, such as lighter? You need to hand over.
Do you think this might be like a main cause of fires?
I guess
In the
so.
forest?
I guess so.
你们知道有几种情况能够引发森林火灾呢？
He is asking if we know any main reasons that cause fires in the forest. Maybe lighter.
You know the
yeah.
lighters. But actually, today I think we can try to discover.
Yeah, let's see if we can find out the answers.
And if people in the audience,
Yeah,
if you have
of course.
any idea, maybe you can type it in the comments, right?
Yes, leave us comments and
Leave a
help us
comment
to
and
find the
We're gonna
answers.
be checking out.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna leave this here
Of
because
course.
I can.
You don't want to carry it into the mountains.
So we
我
can
们把这个放下去，我们就去
Maybe
巡抚。
谢谢。
good. So you ready to go into the forest?
We are ready. Let's
Get
wait.
Mr. Go ready.
Yeah.
We go.
郭老师，我们现在出发，
出发，
好，
是吧？我们现在出发。
Okay.
您走前面。
Let's go.
朝那条线走哈。
This is his daily routes
Oh, this is the
into the
ticket.
mountains.
Okay, Mr. Take this every day.
Yeah.
So Claire, I wonder like what is in this box we're keeping?
Yeah, it looks like some medical first aid luggage or like some special equipment.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. 郭师傅，这是什么箱子呀
哦，这个是我们今天的特殊任务。
？It's a special mission for us today.
Okay, that's another
Don't know. Maybe I'll find out later.
Okay, great.
Mm.
So maybe also you can ask him like why is it so critical to monitor and control the fires in this mountain?
郭师傅，为啥子在这个森林里面监控火情是对我们来说是非常重要的呢？
哦，因为一旦发生森林火灾后，对人的生命财产和野生动物的生存空间都会造成很大的影响，对不对？
Because if there's any fire happening, it will cause a lot of damage to human beings' lives and also our properties.
Also, I guess after there's a big fire and part of the trees disappear, there might be some natural disasters as
Yeah,
well.
such as like debris flows. Yeah, because you know Sichuan is in a earthquake area.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the earthquake took place before. Maybe with the protection from the forest, then the secondary damaging caused by the earthquake will also be more or less.
So they can save humans, the wildlife, the forests,
Yes,
natural disasters.
and also maybe the wildlife
Yeah.
living
the
in
animals
this
living
yeah
here.
in this forest can also be protected as well.
But their job is so important.
Yeah.
So he has to walk this path every day.
贵师傅，你是不是每天都要走这条路？
不，我们有几条线，但是
贵师傅，你要走慢点儿，不然我们可能跟不上你。
有几条阳线，不是每天都走这儿，对不对？
哦
都有其他的
几
线路。
条呢？一共几条？
我们有6条。
They have 6 paths, 6
Okay.
different routes, and they go through different routes on different days.
So each ranger is,
每天都有不同的
assigned
线
to
路走。
different routes, right? Every day.
所以是不是不同的护林员要巡护不同的路线，还是一个人就盯到一条路走？
每天我们基本上每天不同的阳线是需要巡护一条。
One person, different routes, different days.
Okay. And now it's getting
Be careful.
harder, actually
Wow.
getting tougher.
Wow.
We found water. in the
Yeah.
river.
慢点啊，
我们需要跨过这条河吗
对，必须要走这
We
儿
need to
过
go across the
因为
river.
We need to cross the
We're
river.
tough.
Yes. So be careful. Be careful.
Okay, I didn't expect this. Let's go. Wow.
没有桥，只有走这边。
没有桥，No bridge.
No bridge.
Yeah.
At least we brought boots.
Oh, yeah.
Rain
Yeah.
boots.
So shall we go? 我们走吧
Let's go.
我们走吧。
慢点啊。
好。
Okay, be careful. These rocks are very slippery. Wow.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Huh?
It was a long time I didn't cross a
What do you
river.
want?
actually.
哦，对
That
对
was, oh my god. I'm okay. Okay. We got it. We're almost there. Good.
So，这个是啥子呢，郭师傅？
GPS 我们上山用来定位用的。
哦，it's a GPS for them to locate themselves on the mountains.
Okay, so they got all the points and the routes inside the GPS, right?
你们在这个 GPS 里面是不是也记录了各个重点区域的位置？
就是有发现有问题，重点要记到了它的点位的哪个位置，比如说每个时间段发现啥问题，我们要记录。
哦，so they can also mark some potential risk sites, and for them for easy to report.
Okay.
找到信号了吧？
找到了。
We got signal. Let's go.
That's good. That's very good.
哎，郭师傅，我看现在并不就是湿度也很大，现在是不是不是那么容易着火呢？这个森林后头。
这儿几天像这个天气哈，一般不会发生森林火灾。
哦。
但是我们是一般看到，季节是从11月份到明年的5月份，这段时间都属于森林放火期。
哦。
这段时间都还没有到11月份。
哦。
它树叶没开始，基本上没咋掉的。
So he said it's when it's raining like these days in the mid autumn, there is not too much risk for the fire. But when entering in the duration of November and the next May, it's the restriction period.
Okay. to be in good shape to take this path every day.
He walks really fast.
Yeah, we come from the big city. We're not used to this. Good.
贵师傅，我们还要走好远哦。
应该不会很远了。
OK，
再走一节，一般我们用钱，就要走路那个位置就对了。
嗯，
So if he found any risk in this path,
贵
to
师
be
傅，
able to report it directly.
好，你知道这是什么叶子吗？
这个啊，
知
不
道好
认识这个叶子，看上去有点大，这条路上都是这种叶子。
就是照着这种叶子啊，就是这种厚朴树，到了11月份过后，它就开始叶子就要往下掉，它
So
就
he
枯了。
said, this
落叶型的。
this leaf is called 厚朴, and in every winter, especially from November, they will fall.
它的那个等于说是它叶子也干了哈，到树叶掉下来后，堆积的就很厚，堆积的很厚，也就遇到天气很大的有干燥的时候，冬天加干燥，它就很容易着火，像这种树叶，它就容易引发森林火灾。
So in winter, usually it's very dry here, and when some place gathering a lot of leaves like this, it's very easy to be set on fire.
And what can they do about it?
那你们是咋个做的呢？遇到这种情况？
我像一旦发现这种情况，它基本上有火灾隐患的话，就要用 GPS 或者把成绩点、打击点记录，然后或者用我们的这个中转手机也一样的，它是可以上报这些啥子都可以，记录
So
点位它，然后每个巡护员他都等于说注意一下这件事情，等于说像哪排有隐患点2点都好重点观察下子。
So once there's any, they consider it's like a potential risk. They will mark this site in a GPS and also report this on their mobile app. I don't know if this is some special kind of mobile app, then they can report it. Then all of their team member will know and pay more attention to this site. They will visit this place more frequently to watch on that and to prevent it from to cause any further damage.
但是像这种的巡护的话，像注意这种火险的话，像这种叶子的话，我们的等于说点位太多了，因为问题是它基本上像这种老百姓栽这种林哈，太宽了，等于说这种容易引发森林火灾的地方太多了，基本上每天都要到处检查去。 几条线都要注意这种。
Also, there are so many sites has been marked, so they can not only monitoring on the system, they have to walk and protect this nature by each step they take. Okay, let's go.
Continue.
Let's keep moving.
啊，有走。
哎，郭师傅，好久不见，好久不见，哎，好久不见，好久不见，哎，
哎，你好。
我们今天的特殊任务。
你好，你好。
So this is our special mission for today.
Good.
Really looking forward to that. So what is it? 那是什么呢？
对。
我今天无人机巡护嘛。
好的，好的。那他过去准备放飞机的一些准备工作了，是吧？
对对对，他在做准备工作。其实我
好的
无人机在整个的我们的这个森林防火里边啊，主要有2个作用。一个是在它的这个高火险的时候，会做一些日常的巡护。另一方面呢，如果说哪块发生火情的话，它可以实时的去对火场进行一些勘察，实时的掌握它的这个火情的态势。
So there are two things that the drone can do on our daily works. So first of all is that the drone will fly over the high risk areas, and then it will discover and monitoring that site. And secondly is that when there's any place has been sitting on fire, it can also do some inspections and do some reports feedback to us.
对对对，这个
Yeah.
这个上面这个就是无人机的，当时这是历史画面啊，就是历史上无人机的一些飞行的画面，啊。
So these are some existing footage from our previous footage taken by the drone.
对对对对。
这个是在哪儿呢？
这个是在西昌。
Oh. So this is at some other sites very far from this place called Xichang City. Yeah, in Sichuan province.
对。
Yeah.
Yeah. So apart from like drones and rangers, what kind of monitoring system do they use?
除了无人机，然后除了我们的护林员的这个巡防之外，还有哪一些方式是能够让我们的去即时的去监测森林火情的呢？
其实我们运用了多种的手段，就包括我们今年是构建了我们叫天空地人一体化的这种火情的监测手段。
We have multiple methods. We have built an integrated system to monitoring all the potential risks.
对，包括12颗卫星。
We have 12 satellites.
对对对对，然后5架无人机。
And 5 drones.
对，800多路的这个视频监控，防火的监控。
And more than 800 of the video camera.
还有10几万的护林员，他们拿着手机可以实时的去把他们看到的一些火情，他可以实时的去报警。
And 100,000 of the rangers who can really go inside of the forest and feedback.
That's a lot.
Wow, that's a lot. 那好多人。
What has been the role of Huawei into all these big projects?
那华为在这里面扮演了一个什么样的角色呢？
华为是这样的，就是他们以前的这种手段，包括卫星、无人机、视频监控这些手段，他们以前全是有的。但是呢，但是以前它每个系统它都是割裂的。所以说华为做的一个最大的这个事情呢，就是把所有的这些卫星、无人机和这个视频监控把它全都连接了起来。就华为最擅长的就是连接嘛。
Actually, all of these monitoring methods were existed. However, they are fragmented. So that's why Huawei came in and integrated them all as one system and put all the sensoring layers together. So the efficiency of feeding back all the informations will be much high.
对，另外的话，基于华为云的一些 PaaS 和 SaaS 的能力，我们也构建了这整个的一套系统。
And we also make use of a lot of Huawei's clouds, PaaS and SaaS capabilities to build up the system.
对，
那您还能够给我们展示一下这个系统到底是怎么使用的吗？ So, do we have like a monitoring app or something on the mobile phone?
这个是一个整体的一个首页。
This is the front page.
首页。它可以实时的进行开会，云会议的这个功能。
We can have cloud meetings.
对，它的核心功能其实是在这个界面。它这个界面的话，它可以看到。
So there is a map button. When you click, and then you will see a map of the Sichuan province. 这是四川的地图是吧？
四川的地图。四川地图像它有很多的这个按钮嘛。
Okay. Different buttons. You can select, for example, the first one is the any fire risks.
对，还有视频监控。
And video monitoring.
对，比如视频监控。
You can see there are many sites.
对。
In the whole province.
随便点开一个嘛。
Like. So let's open any one of them.
Oh, they can watch in real time.
这个就是
beautiful view.
这个就是
That's incredible.
对。通过这个视频呢，就可以实时的去看到，如果哪一块起火了，它就可以看到。
这是一个即时的一个影像是吗？
对，实时的影像。
So this is a real time footage. Wow.
实时的影像。
Beautiful.
通过这个系统，整个的这个系统呢，我们从以前的是行政命令要求， 比如说发现了火情，2小时之内喝茶，现在能提高到半个小时到2个小时之内，就把这个火情就喝茶完，上报到这个省上。
So we have improved the efficiency. By previously, they would take up for about 2 hours to confirm about the fire, any clues on fire of fire. But for now, they will only take more than just for half an hour, maximum no more than 2 hours to confirm that.
现在有这种高科技的设备啊，对我们平服员来说，我们轻松多了。
是吧？
以前全部靠脚干，有一天发现点问题，全部人工跑去看了。现在就有高科技的飞机啊，飞24的就等于看到了，它画面就传回来了。
就不用这个，
不用天天
爬山了。对。
So without support of the tech, the rangers will have to walk by himself to discover and report the potential risks. But for now, it's very convenient for them to communicate with each other and report any potential risk. So thanks to this system and also thanks to the support of the tech.
Okay, so actually we are here on a mission.
Yes, I remember that.
That is to find what are the main reasons that can cause a fire in a place like that. So I think maybe
we can get some help from Mr. 赵健. So, 赵老师，您能够帮助我们一下吗？因为来的时候我们那个郭老师布置我们任务了，请我们寻找一下哪一些是容易引起火灾的因素。您能够给我们介绍一下吗？
其实大部分火灾都是人为引起的，大概90%以上的都是人为引起的。
He said 90% of the fire are actually caused by human beings.
对，除了人为引起的，其实火在自然中也是普遍存在的嘛。
And it's very common in the wild nature for fire.
对，在森林里边啊，它还有这么几类，一类是这种雷击火，雷击火。
In the forest, first of all, is the fire caused by the flash.
对。第二类呢，就是我们的这高压线，高压线它如果说它短路了或者什么，它垂到地上会引起这个火灾。
And also for the high voltage wire, they also cause fires when it's any problems happening.
对，甚至山上有时候它会有一些滚石，也会引起这个火灾。
And even the rolling stocks from the mountains can cause fires.
对。
Anything can cause a fire.
Yeah.
大概就是这么几类。
That's it. So.
And also, maybe I have a question for our audience.
Yes, of course.
If they have been, let's see if they have been paying attention to what we talked today.
Yeah.
Because before, they said that it took like 2 hours to detect the fire without these kind of systems. But now with this system, it's faster.
Yeah, with the support of the tech.
Exactly. So let's see if people in the comments know how fast we can find a fire now thanks to technology.
Yeah, we mentioned that time just now. Please, if you remember that answer, leave your comments
type a comment
and let us know.
And I think now it's time to go back to Oliver, right?
Yes, get back to Oliver. Hello, Oliver. It's your time.
See you guys.
See you.
Hello, I am back, Ollie, on your screen again. Thank you to Javi and Claire for that. Now, I know you've been waiting for this moment. This is where you will find out whether you can get your hands on one of these by answering one of the 4 questions correctly. So I'm going to go through the winners right about now. I've got my trusty device here that's going to tell me who the winners are. So, question 1, what technology do we use to do the live stream? Now, the winner from Facebook for that one was Iris Wu, so congratulations to you. Question 2 was, what is the sealed bag for when they were going into the forest? Now, the answer for that one was answered correctly by a Facebook member, Shob Mahmoud. I do apologize if I'm not saying your name correctly. The third question was, is the red panda the baby of the giant panda? Now, of course, the answer was no. And that was answered correctly by people on every single platform. So on Twitter, we've got John Malcolm McMenemy, and then on Facebook we have Xiu Huang Dai, and then on YouTube we have Yuan Jiang. So congratulations to all of you. Now, if you haven't got one yet, we've still got one question left. So that one was, what are the potential risks to cause a fire in the forest. Now we also got winners from every single platform here as well. So let's read the winners. Twitter, we have James Lawrence. Facebook, we have Nessar Ahmed. And on YouTube, we have Mohi Khalid. So congratulations to all of you. You're going to get your hands on one of these, coming straight out of Chengdu. So it's the most authentic you're going to get. Anyway, the team will contact you on your social platforms. So keep on the lookout for that. And that is all from me today. We are now going to be moving on to the forum where you're going to learn more about how the environmental experts are going to be teaching you how you can protect the pandas' habitats. So that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Let's take you over there now.
并将手机调至关机或静音状态。谢谢您的配合。Dear guests, welcome to A Coffee with Huawei, Tech for Panda Habitats Coffee Talk. The meeting will start pretty soon. Please get seated and mute your mobile phone or set on the vibrate mode. Thank you for cooperation. Dear guests, our forum will start shortly. Please kindly get seated so we can start on time. Please kindly mute your mobile phone or set it on vibration mode. Thank you for cooperation. 尊敬的各位来宾，欢迎大家来到科技守护大熊猫栖息地会议的现场。精彩内容即将呈现，请各位来宾尽快入座，并将手机调至关机或静音状态。感谢您的配合。 各位来宾，我们的论坛即将开始，请大家落座，
Distinguished guests,
并请将您
our
的手机
forum will
静
begin
音，或者
shortly.
设置到关
Please
机。
take your seats
温馨提
and put
示
your
大
mobile
家，今
phones
天请大
on
家
mute
佩
or
戴口罩
vibration.
参
Thank
会
you.
请大
Also,
家佩戴
please
口罩
keep
参会
the face
感
mask
谢您的配
on
合。
during the event. Thank you.
Dear guests, our forum will start shortly. Please kindly get seated. Please also set your mobile phone on mute mode. Also, kindly remind, please put on your mask. Thank you very much. Dear guests on site, our forum will start in 2 minutes. 各位来宾，大家好。2分钟后，我们的论坛即将开始，请大家将手机静音，佩戴口罩，感谢。 尊敬的在场的、在线的各位领
distinguished
导、
guests
科学家、嘉
here
宾、媒体
and
朋
online,
友，大家
dear
下午
scientists,
好，上午好，晚上
leaders, and media friends. Good afternoon, good morning, or good
我
evening.
是曹有静，
I'm Evita Cao from Public Affairs and Communications Department of Huawei. It's a great honor to meet you all here at the beautiful Panda Valley in Dujiangyan of China.
Today. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to everyone on site and online. My name is Evita Cao. I'm from Huawei's Public Relations Department. Today, it is our honor to have everyone joining us at Chengdu Research Base of panda breeding. The rest of the forum, I will speak in Chinese mainly. We have simultaneous translation available for you. If you don't have a earpiece now, please have one. 大熊猫
Giant pandas are the national treasure of China and a living fossil with its unique species and a flagship species for natural conservation. However, climate change and natural disasters threaten the habitats for rare wild animals like giant panda. We need to rethink the relationship between man and nature and come up with transformative actions to turn the game around and address the deteriorating challenges. Here we're gathered at the Panda Valley near the giant panda habitats to discuss how digital technologies can be applied to safeguard the habitats of wild giant pandas and the co-occurring species. Here, I'd like to extend great thanks to the Chengdu Giant Panda Breeding Research Base for its great support and relevant government authorities for their guidance. For today's event, we have the top-notch conservation biologists, giant panda breeding scientists, consultants and experts, as well as practitioners and leaders in digital transformation and Giant Panda National Park and frontline forest rangers to share with us their insights. We have on our panel today Mr. Wei Fuwen, academician and of Chinese Academy of Sciences and conservation biologist. Ms. Hou Rong, the Deputy Director of Chengdu Giant Panda Breeding Research Base, joining us online. Ran Jianghong, President of Sichuan Wildlife Conservation Association and President of Natural Museum of Sichuan University. Ahimsa Campos Arces, Research Fellow at the Southeast Asian Biodiversity Research Center of Chinese Academy of Sciences. Mr. Ni Jiubing, Director of the Southwest Center of the Nature Conservancy. Mr. Yue Kun, the President of Huawei Global Government Business Department, and the frontline forest rangers from the Dujiangyan Ranger Station. Please say hi to everyone. Welcome. And of course, media friends from China and overseas titles. Welcome. Before we begin the panel, just to remind you again, please put your mobile phones on mute or vibration mode. Next, let's welcome to the stage Mr. Yue Kun, the President of Huawei Global Government Business Department, to extend the welcoming remarks. Distinguished academician, guests, experts, dear forest rangers, and media friends, good afternoon. It's a great honor to join you at the home of giant pandas at the Panda Valley in Dujiangyan for a conversation on tech for panda habitats. Last week, China announced during the UN Biodiversity Conference, COP15, its first group of national parks that includes the Three River Source National Park, the Giant Panda National Park, the Northeast China Tiger and Leopard National Park, and Hainan Tropical Forest National Park, as well as Wuyishan National Park. Sichuan is home to the most species exclusively found in China. The province is one of the rare species genome databases in China and the world. However, climate change and environmental issues threaten the survival of wild animals around the world. Over 1 million species are at the risk of extinction. We need to rethink the relationship between humanity and nature. Green and low carbon living and protecting nature and biodiversity are more important than ever. At Huawei, as a leading ICT solutions provider, we are committed to offering the cutting-edge technologies and products and solutions to support all industries. When we talk about biodiversity conservation, wild animal protection, and forest protection, in the past hundreds of years, I've actually visited the protected area in South Africa, which claimed to be the earliest natural reserve set up in the world. This kind of protected areas are crucial for environmental and biodiversity conservation. It's been important for decades and it will continue to be important, but this is an industry that also needs ICT technologies to transform, to improve efficiency and rise up to the challenges of the time. We've been fortunate to work with the Sichuan Forest and Grassland Bureau, offering 5G, cloud, and AI technologies to support the frontline forest rangers in their field work, so that digital technologies can help make their work more efficient and effective, so that they can have eyes that can see far beyond their sight, so that we can empower them to become Ironmen and women. With digital technologies, fire hazards can be reported in a streamlined way, coordinating multiple departments in the response efforts. Apart from the cooperation with Sichuan Forest and Grassland Administration, we also are committed to do our bit in addressing climate change and contributing to biodiversity protection. One key measure for addressing climate change is developing renewable energy. We are working on the digitalization of traditional energy, supporting China to achieve its targets of peaking carbon emission and reaching neutrality. Our smart PV solution is deployed in over 60 countries to generate clean solar power, which reduces 148 million tons of carbon emission, equivalent to planting over 200 million trees. And I believe more is to come. In terms of biodiversity conservation, we work with partners, academics, universities, and conservation institutions to apply digital technologies like 5G, cloud, and AI to improve the efficiency of wildlife conservation and protect forest, ocean, and wetland ecosystems. We also work with NGOs to develop cloud and AI-based acoustic monitoring system, where sounds in the wild are collected and transmitted to cloud and analyzed with AI, so that we can intelligently identify gunshots of poachers, chainsaws of loggers, and even the calls of endangered species. The system has been deployed in over 30 protected areas in the Philippines, Greece, and Ireland, etc., safeguarding the habitats of bearcats, Balkan chamois, etc. And we hope that With ICT technologies that we have to offer, we can support the industry's digital transformation so that digital technologies can be used not only for giant panda habitats, but also the habitats of many rare species for a better nature. We're convinced that in the future lies an intelligent, connected world. At Huawei, we hope that through technological innovations and collaboration with experts of various fields, we can together build a better and greener planet. Thank you. I wish the event great success. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Yue Kun. Mr. Yue Kun spoke from Huawei's practical experience in digital transformation and our experience in supporting government, customers, NGOs, and academic institutions, as well as partners in wildlife conservation. Mr. Wang Hongjia, the chief planner of the Sichuan administration of Giant Panda National Park, said a quote that I remember deeply. He said that the forest and grassland industry is quite traditional. We used to rely on our legs to get to the places with our tools on us. But now we're increasingly using digital technologies to develop talents for this industry. Now please welcome our panelists to join us on the stage. Thank you. I'll take a seat as well. In our eyes, all of you are experts and scholars and authoritative figures in giant panda protection, wildlife habitat conservation, and biodiversity. Giant panda is now considered vulnerable instead of endangered. According to statistics of the National Administration of Forest and Grassland, the artificially bred species of giant panda has amounted to 600, which significantly supports the recovery and breeding of wild species groups. And the number of wild giant pandas has increased from 1,114 to 1,864. And that is the result of the efforts from experts like all of you, such as academician Wei. I've seen the documentary of how you worked in the wild, living in the caves, in tents, for 7-8 months in a row. And at that time, cameras and telescopes were already luxury items that you carry. Could you tell us a bit about how it was like back then? How you tracked down giant pandas in the densely populated forests? I'm sure all of the friends here and online want to hear the stories.
It gives me great pleasure to attend this seminar, Tag for Panda Habitats. That was a very good question, and it's actually a long story. I started to research giant pandas for more than 30 years. In the very beginning, I was in Sichuan and basically climbed all the mountains in Sichuan province. And then I went to from the Mingshan, Liangshan mountain ranges all the way to the Qing mountain range. I'm full of curiosity, especially scientific curiosity about giant pandas. I'm fascinated with all those scientific questions and puzzles around pandas. Back in the 1980s, we spent a lot of time in the field tracking pandas. I had with me a lot of local forest rangers that supported me in my work, and those who sat here in front of in the first of the rows are the ones that I respect the most. It is because of their hard work and hard efforts that we can make such a progress on the breeding of giant pandas and also on my scientific results. In the 1980s, the China's conditions were still very backdated, and the tools we were using were quite limited. I remember that in 1980, when we started research with George Schorner, there was a backpack. We had a backpack and also had some tracking systems for pandas, like the wireless collar that we can put on pandas. Back then, it was very expensive. Of course, now it is not quite advanced technologies. And we also have some instruments to analyze the cause of giant pandas. I bought such an instrument back then in Chengdu, thanks to the international cooperation. Those are the advanced instruments we got back then when we had international cooperation. But for those domestic projects, we only have some telescopes, some domestic cameras, and even those simple and common cameras were a really luxury for us. Of course, now China has experienced rapid development in technologies. Companies like Huawei are rising up to offer advanced technologies for the field tracking and other activities. That is very important. Now, the enterprises are developing and also contribute their efforts back to the benefit of the society. We see a lot of companies and a lot of NGOs are raising up, like the ones in Alashan in Xinjiang. I just attended the COP15 conference where, on behalf of the scientists, I made some remarks. I made a 5-minute remarks about the recovery of those conserved areas. There is still a crisis in the biodiversity. According to some statistics, animals are now facing the rate of extinction at the rate of 100 to 1,000 times. According to IUCN, 28% of those species have the possibility of going extinction. Why is it that? It's actually about the relations between human and nature. We haven't properly addressed that yet. President Xi Jinping mentioned about ecological civilization. That is actually a concept from traditional Chinese philosophy. That is the harmony between human and nature. Nature is about natural environment and nature's needs. And human is not about human beings, but also the needs of human beings. We have to ensure that the two can coexist in a harmonious way. and for harmonious development. President Xi mentioned innovation, coordination, openness, and greenness in our future development. Only by consider human and nature as a whole can we truly address the issues in the nature and in biodiversity as well as human beings' sustainable development. I think that is a very good concept. So I will start with that. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Wei. And I have a follow-up question. Starting from the 1980s up to now, in your observation on the work of the forest rangers, what are the changes in their working environment? Well, there are a lot of major changes, I should say. Back in 1980s, people are wearing just a very common rubber shoes, and now they have more high quality shoes, and they can have a down jacket available now, and they have a lot of instruments available, not just something like compasses to guide the direction. They even have mobile phones to do the navigation. I think that is attributed to the advancement of our technologies. The most important thing is that with the development, we should have more awareness of environment, or there has to be such a mainstream mindset. There is a concept mainstream in our domain. Maybe it's not a common term. By mainstream, I mean that we should make biodiversity a concept that is aware by the general public. We have such ecological functions in the nature that are going on. They can help us adjust the weather, the flood, the disease, and there is also the supply system in these ecological function systems. The oxygens that we're breathing are from the environment, from the plants, and the animals are providing food for us. More importantly, there is culture from the nature. When we are physically satisfied, we need more enrichment to the mind. If we want to go sightseeing and there are no plants, no animals, or just a very limited species, how can we fully enjoy ourselves? The whole ecological functioning systems provides very high values to us. According to Constanza, the services provided by the ecological functioning system is worth around 125 trillion US dollars. We are talking about the conservation of giant pandas and other species. Actually, it's not just about the conservation of giant pandas. Giant pandas are called a flagship species, or the so-called umbrella species. We are not just about protecting giant pandas. We are protecting the ecosystem that giant pandas are living in. So we have to know the values of the ecological functioning system around giant pandas that we are protecting. The value is around 2.7 billion. And the return we get is 27 times as much as that. So we're not just protecting giant pandas, but also the ecosystem that is supporting giant pandas. We need people to realize that conserving the biodiversity is saving human beings themselves. Biodiversity should be part of the laws and regulations and be considered in economical and social development. The ecological civilization comprises of 5 major parts, and they are one of the major directions in our efforts to the conservation of biodiversity. The changes we enjoy or the right now are attributed to the advancement of technologies. Back in the 1980s, although we did not have so much advanced technologies and we were not a rich country, we still allocated some budget for conservation. Professor Bing Shi from the Institute of Zoology of Chinese Academy of Science proposed the idea of conservation of the reserve, that is in the Dingfu Mountain in Guangdong in 1957. Of course, now we have a more fully established conservation systems. We already have more than 18,000 conserved areas, and we achieved 17% of the SDG targets in this area. Globally, China ranked top 1 in terms of the increase rate on the efforts of protecting or conserving biodiversity. Our efforts are increasing at a rate of 25%. I analyzed the ideas behind that. Since the ancient times, the Chinese people value the green mountains they have around them. They believe that green mountains are in themselves a source of wealth. That's more like a core principle within people's mind, and they believe that those harmonious principles are guiding principles in people's daily life. And we believe that we have to live in harmony with nature, the unity of nature and man, I should call it. That's the core of the ecological civilization. We are highly aligned with the SDG targets from the UN. There are a lot of overlapping in the content within ecological civilization and UN's SDGs. The ultimate goal is to achieve the harmony between human and nature. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wei. I almost forgot where I was when I hear your remarks, and I didn't have a notebook with me, unfortunately. Just now we talked that now giant pandas are not endangered animals, but vulnerable animals. Mr. Wei and Ms. Hou spent decades on the protection of giant pandas. Just a few days ago, I met Ms. Hou Rong as well, and she is full of passion with giant pandas and other animals as well.
Today, we wanted to have Ms. Hou Rong with us for the panel. Unfortunately, she is otherwise engaged, but we sent over the question to her in advance, and she made a recording for us. The question is, as we know, Ms. Hou Rong is nicknamed as Panda Mother. She has contributed greatly to the breeding of giant panda and its research. She is the Deputy Director of Chengdu Giant Panda Breeding Research Base. So I sent over to Ms. Hou that if you look back on the old days where you only have very basic tools to support you, compared to now, the era that Mr. Yue Kun spoke about, what has changed? And I asked her to share her perspective on this. Here's her video. Well, in the past few years, thanks to concerted efforts, the habitats protection for giant pandas have made great progress forward. I've been working on the migration area protection for giant pandas. I think in 2000, there were only 135 giant pandas in the group. And this year, this number rose up to 673, which is an almost six-fold growth. It's really a matter and result of collaborated efforts. When it comes to solving the challenge of giant panda breeding, it not only requires breeding technologies and techniques, we also need to look at the issue of giant pandas' health, nutrition, and employ comprehensive approach to address the emerging challenges. In recent years, with the development of technologies like cloud, AI, and big data, wild animals conservation, including the conservation of giant pandas, have benefited greatly. For example, we're exploring how AI can be adopted to identify the faces of giant pandas. We've made some solid progress, and this giant panda face recognition can get an accuracy of over 90%. These kind of new technologies, cutting-edge technologies, have brought new means to the protection of giant pandas, and they will significantly support these efforts. Thank you to Ms. Ho for her sharing. Actually, giant panda face recognition is a new term for me. When I first heard this term, I asked her, why? Why do we need it? She said, just to let you know a secret, no one member of staff at our breeding base can recognize all the giant pandas. It is difficult. They have furs on their faces. We don't have furs on our faces. Next, I'd like to pivot to Mr. Ran. You are a renowned scholar in the southwestern region of China when it comes to nature conservancy and research. What do you think are the surprises that digital technologies have brought to your work? Well, I've been researching in giant pandas for 20-odd years. I do field trips quite often, especially in Gansu and other provinces. You ask what has changed and what are the surprises. I think everything has changed. The way we live, the way we travel and eat, they've all changed. Technologies are advancing without a doubt. Back in the years, we counted 114 giant pandas with strong support of Chinese scholars. We dug up the ancient materials. At the time, we relied on a compass to navigate and trace the tracks of pandas in the wild so that we can count how many there were. But in the early 2000s, GPS technology became more available so that we could more easily locate people and giant pandas in the natural reserves. And around 2011, 2012, our means of research have improved greatly. We had electronic systems to replace pens and paper. And now, with the wide adoption of infrared cameras, our work has been made a lot easier. But for so many years, we're moving for the better. However, now we can travel to more remote places because of better transportation, better infrastructure. But if we compare it to 20 years ago, in some locations there's no signal coverage, no proper roads, and some forest rangers lost track and got left out of the team. At one point on the second day, we had to contact police to help us find the colleague. But now, with digital technologies offered by the likes of Huawei, we will no longer suffer from the problem of getting lost or losing contact of each other when we travel to the field. Communication is crucial to. Just sorry to jump in. You actually shared the story with a lot of terms. The first survey, second survey. What do you mean exactly? Well, the first survey was the earliest. It's a census on giant pandas, and in 1989 we had the second survey of giant pandas, and the third survey was in 1999. And between 2011 and 2012, we had the fourth survey, and next year we're going to conduct the fifth survey. Every 10 years, we conduct a census on the panda population. So every 10 years, how has the statistics changed? Has it changed a lot? Of course. The first survey result was not released, but at the time we had around 2,400. In the third survey we had 1,596. In the fourth survey we had a panda population of 1,865. And the growth of this population is definitely accredited to the efforts of all the field workers. Actually, it's the first time that I'm hearing this kind of sharing about the giant panda census from its first generation all the way to the fifth being planned. It's going to be hard work no matter what, right? Even with the support of digital technology. Well, the communications has not improved. It's going to be more difficult because the forests have grown. The farmlands have been recovered back into forests, and they're now fully grown. It's not walkable. We tried with our students, and some walked into the forest for 100 meters and had to get back because they couldn't go any further. In the future, we do need to apply more cutting-edge technologies in the research of wild animal. Our current means of research have improved compared to the 80s and 90s, but it's not improved with a generational enhancement. Technologies are developing very quickly. The unmanned drones provided by companies like DJI are quite popular, and the optical instruments provided by Changchun Optical Research Institute and others can all be potentially employed and integrated so that we can fly a drone up an area that we want to run reconnaissance on. If we can reach a certain height and fly the drone for, say, a month, so that we get an aerial view of the land and see the pandas, and even use AI to recognize all the species, including giant pandas, so that the forest rangers will not have to do the really hard work of physically getting to all the locations. It's hard work, but it's also fun. I know that those that work in the field probably live longer because you drink fresh water. You don't need to carry water often. You drink water from the mountain, from the spring. It's better than bottled water. You breathe in the fresh air in the mountain. For those that work in laboratories in the cities, they probably breathe in a lot of toxic gas. It's not good for their health. For the young generation, they deserve our admiration, choosing to work in the field, in the wild. Many people prefer to work in the cities. Many people are migrant workers going to find work in the city. It's hard to find help in the wild, especially not young people. So we definitely need to better leverage technologies to alleviate the burden and the hard work for forest rangers and reduce the margin of error in their research. Now we don't even have solid numbers on how big the margin of error are. Now we have established biological approaches for feces DNA investigation. We can extract DNA from the feces, and we can record the genome types of the samples. If they are the same, then they come from the same individual. Otherwise, it's from two different giant pandas. This works, however, it has its preconditions. You need to retrieve fresh feces samples from the wild. Yes, I've seen that in the documentary of you working in the wild, smelling the giant panda feces. Well, my dream is that in 10 years we can really apply the advanced technologies so that drones can fly for long periods of time to give us visuals of the land, to recognize different animals, especially megafaunas or primates. If these technologies can be validated in the next 10 years, it's going to be significant. The population of giant pandas are highly related to the maturity of the habitats they live in. According to IUCN criteria, we decided that it's time for the threat level of giant pandas to be downgraded because they no longer fit the criteria of endangered species. But it's still crucial that we raise awareness, educate the public about the behaviors of giant pandas and how to save the smaller species groups, such as reintroducing them into the wild. We also can establish natural corridors to allow intermarriages between different giant panda groups. All these ideas require lots of efforts from the practitioners in the field. And we need to leverage technologies for us to make it happen.
Thank you very much. I also studied the facets of giant pandas. There is no ugly smells, so you can try it as well. You also mentioned that you did planning about Panda Valley. In this morning and this afternoon, a lot of our friends from the media have gone to the mountains as well. They climb along the wooden passages. And this morning, the forest rangers told us that those wooden passages are like the super highway in mountains for them. I made a call to the director of Dujiangyan Forest Ranger Station, Jiang Lili, and told him our activity, and I invited him sincerely to attend our event. And his response made me almost cry. And he said, that was a really fantastic event. And how many people do you need? 5, 8? And eventually I managed to invite 11 forest rangers to go to the mountains with us today. And those forest rangers also bring with them the devices that they are using in their daily operation. When I called Director Jiang, he told me an important piece of information. He said that it's a really meaningful thing that you hold an event in here in Panda Valley, because there is a story behind it. Now let's welcome Director Jiang to share with us the story behind Panda Valley. He looks really dash, knowing that he's going to be in front of the cameras. Okay, actually this is a new topic and it makes me a bit of anxious to tell a story in front of such a lot of authorities like academician Mr. Wei. But as the next generation guardian of giant pandas, I think it is our duty to share with all of you some of those anecdotes and stories about giant pandas. So here I am. The story is like this. When China started the rescue and the protection of giant animals, actually it started here from Panda Valley. It is actually in Majiar district of Yutang town. The first rescued giant panda was actually found in this district since the founding of since 1953. The native villagers, 3 of them found a severely hurt giant pandas. When giant panda was injured or they found that they couldn't find any food, they will approach help from human beings. So these 3 villagers carry the giant pandas to hospitals in Chengdu by foot. And when the government realized the existence of such a giant panda, they started to set up this conservation area. So that is the beginning of the conservation of giant pandas. This giant panda was not named yet, but later we have a nationwide solicitation for the naming of this giant panda, and it is called Daxing. That is a booming period for the protection of giant pandas. That's the origin of Panda Valley. Well, thank you, Mr. Jiang. Actually, I really didn't give him a cue before telling him that he needs to share this story. So it's just like an impromptu for him in front of us. Thank you very much. As you may remember that earlier this year, we had a lot of coverage about those wild Asian elephants going north. They actually become some instant internet celebrities, both in China and outside China. And it is then that we realized how fast the elephants can run and how much food they can consume. Today we have with us Ahimsa, the authority of Southeast Asian Biodiversity Research Center. I know that Ahamsi, your research field is quite wide, not just about Asian elephants, but recently you shared a lot about those group of wild Asian elephants. When people are interested in this story, it actually reflects the fact that there is a rising awareness of the protection of animals. So I would like to know what kind of technologies and means are playing a great role in this process. And what are the thoughts about the harmony between human and nature because of this event?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a big pleasure being here with Professor Wayne, who is very, very famous worldwide. So I'm not a panda expert, and I want to make that very clear from the beginning. I don't want to claim any expertise on this. But I was invited to come here, and I found it very interesting, I think, for 3 reasons. One because of the national park. You know, they launched a new national park. It's an exciting event, and it has very broad implications for conservation, how it is being designed and integrates conservation. Second, because of the interface between a private company like Huawei, digital technology, and conservation. So there are many positive things that can happen with these kind of interactions between the private sector and new technology for the work we do. And third, because it was pandas, you know. So then pandas, let me give you a bit of a broad perspective from an outsider, like not a panda expert. Pandas are a conservation story, a success story. Probably, maybe Professor Wei would prefer if I say conservation in the making more than conservation made, right? It's kind of a process that is being successful. And pandas were very close to extinction, and you know they had many elements that made them very easy to get in trouble because of the limited range and you know the specialized diet. But thanks to conservation efforts, pandas have moved from endangered to vulnerable, and that's great. And now here we are celebrating the new national park and celebrating many things that are very positive. So then I work with a species that is not doing so well. I mean, we are still going on a downward trend. So then it is my interest to learn about how to manage that transition, going from the downwards into upwards. And also we are trying to develop a new national park in the south, in Yunnan, an Asian Elephant National Park. So it was a very good chance to learn from my fellow panelists. So then going to your question about what kind of technology we can use for Asian elephants. Different species, different ecosystems, different conservation problems will have different requirements for technology. And then in the case of Asian elephants, our priorities are different than pandas. I think with pandas, as far as I understand, the main priority is habitat. You know, protecting high quality, mature forest. But elephants don't like good forest. Elephants like bad forest, if I may say. So and that means that if we protect very, very, very good forest, elephants will go somewhere else. So then that creates a problem that often is difficult to anticipate. And then what we need for elephants is be able to have enough space for them, but enough space where people and elephant interactions can be positive, or at least they're not very negative. Because what we have is that when elephants and people share space, we compete for the same food, the same space, and elephants are dangerous, and then they can cause a lot of harm. So technology can be really, really key, digital technology, for us to have real-time information about what is happening. So what I envision in, let's be conservative, 20 years from now, I think we will know very well all the elephants in China, one by one. We will know who they are, We'll know the history, we'll know where they come from, who are the relatives, with whom they get along, which elephants go together, which elephants are more aggressive, which elephants are very mellow. We will know what are the preferred foods, we'll know what kind of areas they like to move around, and then we will be able to use this information to create this interaction between people and elephants, to communicate with people, hey, be careful, because this elephant is in your village tonight. Or please don't go to this area because this is happening. And I'm very, very positive that we'll be able to do that. And keep in mind that when we talk about animals like pandas or elephants, in the Anthropocene, in this 21st century where we live, I think that there's a high potential for them to survive, but it's 100% dependent on our decisions, on our interventions. And then if we want to have pandas in the future, we want to have elephants in the future, it will be because we make efforts to conserve them. And we're talking a lot about the human-nature harmony, human-wildlife harmony. So we need to think that conservation is also not only about habitats and not only about the wildlife, it's about people. So we need to manage people's behavior. In the system that I envision, technology will be very key to influence people's behavior, more than elephants' behavior. It's not easy to tell an elephant, hey, don't eat that, don't go that, or come here. But we probably can say that to people, hey, don't go here, do this. So then I'm very keen on seeing a lot of interactions with companies like Huawei, where you have the know-how, you know the expertise, your engineers do wonderful things. So we need to talk more, we have problems, you have solutions. So we are very keen on having chats to say, okay, this is what we want to see in 10 years. And then you can tell us this is the way we can get it done. So thank you very much for having me here, it's a big pleasure.
Thank you. I'm taking note. So we're going to know in 20 years, we're going to know all the elephants in China. That's your wish list. I took note. Mr. Yue, let's take note. Thank you for sharing very much. And Ahimsa talked about human and nature, the relationship. Now I'm going to invite the other expert on the stage. 接下来，刚刚这个 Ahimsa
Just now, Ahimsa talked about the relationship between human and nature. This is a topic of common interest for us. My next question I want to direct to Mr. Ni Jiubing. And when I told Mr. Ni that we have invited the forest rangers for the event, he said that they are the ones that deserve the most of our respect and admiration. In your perspective, do you think more forest rangers can be engaged, more people can be engaged in the efforts to protect wildlife and their habitats, and what new technologies can be of use? First of all, thank you for sitting me next to academician Wei. It's a dream that I've had since childhood. He is a figure that I deeply respect, and I've learned a lot today, actually, from Professor Wei, Professor Ran, Ms. Hou, and Ahimsa today. From these aspects, I got my very early inspirations in my work. I didn't major in wildlife conservation. I actually majored in economics. Since I joined this course, I paid a lot of attention to the development of the rural economy and the construction of natural reserves. Since the idea was proposed to set up national parks, it was also proposed that more forest rangers will be selected from local people. This will be a key difference. Traditional biodiversity protection relied on centralized efforts, but now with more collective forests and charity-oriented forests, a lot of volunteer jobs are created so that people of local communities can be brought into the work of conservation as well as to contribute to the local economy. It's really a matter of balance. As I work in an NGO and an international organization, I've been fortunate to witness the developments that have happened over the past 1 to 2 decades. The economy in China grew rapidly, catching the eyes of the world. New technologies are used for conservation, for flagship species like giant pandas. And China has delivered outstanding results in this area. To allow humanity to live in harmony with nature, this group of people, the forest rangers, play a critical role. They are the bridge in this relationship, and they deserve all of our respect.
We did a lot of efforts. The forest rangers really did a lot in the conservation. When I first took this job, the senior people were saying that who can stay to the last. Actually, those forest rangers are always the ones that stay with the forest for a long time. These forests are their home. We set up a lot of conserved areas. It's like a process of having people withdraw from certain area and leave the space for the survival of giant pandas. We have to minimize the human interference in order for animals like giant pandas to stay. When these national parks are set up, I realized there is an optimal solution, that is to seek the harmonious status between human and nature. I remember that there was once in a video, a movie that was playing in a large screen in an open field, and people are watching the field, and not far away in the corner, a panda was sitting behind watching the screen as well. So that can be a good example of the harmony between people and animals. If you visit the research base or the Panda Valley and you say hello to pandas, it don't give you a fuss. Why is that? Because pandas don't think you are a threat. Now, giant pandas are willing to leave their faces along the paths that the forest rangers go is a sign of showing their affection, because they are willing to leave their treasure of faces along the paths of forest rangers. When I first climbed the forest, it is exactly here in Dujiangyan, and in the patrol parts just not far away before I started, I found a phasis. Out of curiosity, I put it near to my nose and smell it. Some of the colleagues even take a photo pretending he is eating the phasis. Forest rangers are the ones that first set up the bridge between humans and nature. I think they will be a bondage to mitigate the conflict between community and conservation areas as well. That's all from my side. Thank you. Thank you very much. So you are also a cross-domain expert. You an economist, and now you are in the conservation of animals. I believe there are a lot of cross-discipline experts working in the conservation. I already asked many questions. I know that. So now I will leave the questions to all our friends from the media. The floor is open for you to interact with them.
小姐，谢谢。 请先简短介绍一下您自己。
谢谢主持人，我是来自科技日报的记者。我其实刚才嘉宾也谈到了一些，但是我还是希望请学者跟一线的护理员们，你们能总结归纳一下，在野生动物保护方面，我们国家当前所面临的主要挑战是什么？还有素食技术对它会产生什么样的影响？谢谢。
谢谢您。
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm with Technology Daily. I know that wonderful questions and responses have been provided from the panel, but I still want to ask the scholars and the frontline forest rangers if you can tell me what are the key challenges when it comes to wild animal protection and how technologies can help.
哪位回答一下？
这个问题非常好哈，也非常大啊，一下也很难把它说清楚。实际上，我们从这次生物多样性第一个大会总结的全球的生物多样性面临的挑战，仍然存在的几大因素。我不光谈我们国家，全球。那就是一是土地性质的改变和海洋利用的改变，这是第一大危险因素。第二大危险因素，那就是全球气候变化，把这个气候变化升温的问题。第三个是 pollution， 就是我们的这个污染的问题。第四一个就是 invasive species， 就是这个外来种的问题，当然还有其他的这些，这是主因啊。但我们还存在一些物种本身的一些类因的问题，比如说遗传多样性丢失。我们原来在 CBD H target 的时候，我们只关注了家养动物和栽培作物的遗传多样性，那对于野生的这些生物的遗传多样性是没有被关注的。而现在我们新的框架里面，就是我们面临着遗传多样性丧失，倒是我们要关注这个问题，遗传多样性要维持在什么样的水平？现在我们呼吁的说，未来10年，野生生物的遗传多样性水平要维持在98%以上，所以这都是一些面临的一些全球的挑战，不光是中国，中国当然也面临着同样的一些问题。新的技术，像我们华为呀，我们的这些技术，还有我们的人工智能的技术，我们的遥感技术，还有我们的这个野外监测的什么红外相机技术，也就是我刚刚谈到的无人机技术，我们真正能实现这些技术能够应用到我们未来的这个监测方面去，能够准确地摸清楚我们整个生物多样性的现状以及未来的变化趋势。我们首先要建立一个很好的 baseline， 你连一个我们的现状都不清楚，你很难去谈未来的发展。所以说，为什么我们要进行大熊猫每10年要进行一次大熊猫的调查，就是要搞清楚大熊猫现在的状况是怎么样，未来的变动趋势是怎么样。这就是最为关键，技术手段在服务我们生物多样性保护上面会发生决定性的作用，未来会降低我们的人力物力甚至我们的财力。我想不知我回答你的问题没有，因为这个问题都很大我再尽力来回答。
Very good question. It's also a very big question and difficult to answer. At COP15, it was concluded that there are several challenges or threats for the global biodiversity. That applies not only in China but worldwide. The first one being the difference, the changes that are happening when it comes to land property and the utilization of ocean. The second threat is coming from global climate change and rising temperature. The third one is pollution, and the fourth is invasive species. Of course, there are many other challenges, but these are the main external factors. There are also internal factors of these species, such as the loss of inheritance diversity in the CVD
genetic diversity.
Genetic diversity. In the CVDH target, we in the past only paid attention to the genetic diversity of homegrown species, both animals and plants, and didn't pay enough attention to the genetic diversity of wild animals. And now in the new framework, it is included with more attention on it. But we also need to figure out what level of genetic diversity we need to keep. In the future 10 years, we want to keep it at 98% for wildlife. So these are global challenges, not only challenges that China faces. The new technologies that are provided by companies like Huawei, AI, remote sensing, infrared cameras, and unmanned vehicles, the drones that I mentioned, are all possibilities for the future. They can be applied in the monitoring in the field so that we can better understand the as-is and the to-be of biodiversity, so that we can establish a solid baseline to be able to discuss how the future should look like. That is also a reason why we conduct census on the giant panda population every 10 years. It's to understand where we are and the trend moving forward. I think technology is going to play a decisive role in the conservation of biodiversity. It's going to significantly cut down the costs of labor, of materials, and of financial means in the conservation efforts.
My apology that I should have reminded everyone that this part is on consecutive translation, and I haven't reminded Mr. Wei as well, but my colleague Gloria has done a wonderful job. Let's give her applause.
Yeah, very
That's
good.
Impressive, impressive. And so let's have the next question. There will be. Gentlemen, please.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm David Culver with CNN. You've mentioned COP15, and we now know the establishment of these national parks here in China. I'm curious what impact, if any, having the designation of a national park specifically for the Giant Panda National Park will have in the protection of giant pandas. Thanks.
您好，我是来自 CNN 的记者 David Covert。我的问题是我们知道在 COP15 大会上，中国宣布了成立一批国家公园。那我想了解，成立这样一批国家公园将起到什么样的影响，以及大熊猫国家公园的成立将对大熊猫保护会起到什么样的作用？
我称 star 啊 ，international star，这个问题非常好哈。总书记在这次 COP15 国家领导人高峰论坛上宣布2条最重要的信息。第一条就是建立正式建立5个国家公园。实际上，我们国家建立的以国家公园为主体的自然保护的体系，这是一种新的提法。我们原来就是说建立自然保护的网络，这次总书记提出来，我们要建立一批以国家公园为主体的自然保护的体系。什么叫国家公园为主体？ 那就是国家公园最高级别的就是国家公园，啊，严格的保护，然后在下面来一层的话就自然保护区域，然后在下面就是各种各样的保护地，啊，就是它保护的形式的严格程度不一样，就是我们提出要保护它的原真性和完整性，这是国家公园。
李院士，我们有翻译同事。 您给他留点时间。
抱歉啊。对。
Very good question. At COP15, President Xi at the State Leaders Summit made two important points. One is to set up 5 national parks in China and establish a natural habitat protection system in China with the national parks as the mainstay. In the past, when we talk about natural habitats, we refer to the approach in China as the network of natural habitats. But now it's a different way of a different perspective. The national parks will be the areas with the highest level of protection, followed by the natural reserves and protected areas. There will be different formats in the system of natural habitats. And the purpose is to keep nature as is and keep the integrity of those natural habitats.
这是我们想到的国家公园体制建设的一个最基本的。就当然你问到另外一个问题，就是 Panda National Park 大熊猫国家公园建设，它是整合了所有的这些大熊猫生存的这些栖息地。当然还有一块哈，就南边的这块没完全整合进去，就是主要是陕西、甘肃和四川北边这一片，就所有的保护区。这样如果进行了整合以后，它会加强对这块区域的大熊猫栖息地的保护。物种的生存最离不开的就是我们的栖息环境。如果我们人也一样，我们的生存环境改变以后，我们是很难去适应。所以大熊猫的国家公园建设对我们未来大熊的保护会起到一个更加积极的推动作用。
So that's, I think, one of the key significance from setting up the national parks. As to your second question about setting up the giant panda national park and its impacts, setting up giant panda national park means that we integrate the habitats for giant pandas in Shanxi, Gansu, and Sichuan provinces. There are only small areas in the southern part of China that's not included in the park. But in these, in the panda habitats in these 3 provinces, they will be protected to provide a better ecosystem for the species. The survival of all species rely on the environment, as we humans do. If the environment we live in changes, it will be quite difficult for us to adapt to. And the Giant Panda National Park, I believe, will play a very positive role for the protection of giant panda.
另外 ，COP 上还有个信息，我想传递给大家很清楚的，就是总书记宣布，中国将拿出15亿人民币，建立一个昆明基金，就来为了未来10年，我们生物多样性的保护，全球的生物多样性保护，提供一个坚强的支持。
Another message I want to relay from COP15 is that President Xi announced that China is going to set up the Kunming Fund with 1.5 billion RMB to spend over the next decade, supporting the global efforts in biodiversity conservation.
谢谢。
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next question, please. 下一个问题。Lady in the red vest, please.
Hello, thank you for the very interesting talk so far. My name is Kirsi Crowley from YLE, Finland. My question is that I understand that introducing the captive panda cubs back to the wild is one of the major parts of increasing the panda population. So how is this project going right now? What are in practice the challenges, and how can the technology help in this particular matter? Thank you.
非常感谢各位刚才的精彩分享。我是来自芬兰的媒体 YLE。 那我是想要了解，那我们知道，熊猫的繁殖以及野放对于野外熊猫种群数量的提升和发展是至关重要的。您能不能够与我们分享当前在这方面工作有怎么样的进展？在实际中有什么样的挑战，以及技术能够在此起到什么样的帮助
？Okay, so my job again, because I'm a panda expert. I also speak Chinese. It's much better. My Chinese is much better than my English. 首先，大熊猫圈养种群，我们现在已经增加得很迅速。从我们原来的100多只，我们现在已经增加到600多只。说我们原来有一个 target， 就是我们大熊猫到底要增长到多少圈养大熊猫？我们原来设计的300只的目标，很快这个目标已经突破了，到600只。现在我们600只也突破。那么多熊猫，我们要考虑圈养熊猫，它是我们迁地保护的一种形式。I gave her more time to do that.
Well, first of all, the capped panda population is growing. It has grown from 100 to now 600. We had a target in the past of growing this population to 300, but we quickly went beyond the target, and we're now looking at 600 pandas being kept by our breeders. Now we need to consider, because this population is significant for the management of encircled land.
这样熊猫的种群增长以后，我们怎么来考虑让它回归自然，来拯救我们还面临着威胁的一些小种群，比如说我们象岭山系的，包括我们现在龙栖虹口这个地方栖息地比较隔离的这样一种群。实际上，熊猫放归，我们当时跟国家建议分2步走。分2步走，首先我们要搞清楚，这熊猫放出去能不能生存？那怎么办？那我们就实施了野生种群的，我们叫 translocation， 是吧？把救护的熊猫先放到另外一个区域，看它能不能适应野外的生存。这一步，我们现在的护林员在地方。龙栖虹口就是我们第一只将我们在都江堰救护的一只熊猫。这只熊猫很怪啊，它是因为好像一个竹子卡住了，它自己主动到了都江堰来看大夫，寻求帮助。这只熊猫经过救护以后，然后我们就把它放到了一只野生熊猫，放到了龙栖虹口自然保护区。这只熊猫叫森林1号。我们经过了那么大概有7、8年还是10年了吧，差不多多少年啊？这个监测，这只熊猫仍然在野外生存得非常好。所以这是第一步，我们要走出去的。说熊猫能够放到野外，它面临的威胁很少，因为它长大以后基本上没有什么其他的威胁，除了人的威胁以外，我们人的威胁已经没有了，它的 predator 基本上也没有，所以这样我们认为它是成功的这是第一步。
Well, the capped panda population is growing, so now we are looking at the question of whether we can release them back into nature to save the still threatened smaller groups of pandas living in isolated habitats. So that's the return of the panda. But the national strategy for this, in consideration, is a two-step approach. So the first step is that we need to make sure that they will be able to survive in the wild. So that's what we do, something called wild population translocation. with the rescued giant pandas, we can locate them in a different place and monitor them to see if they can survive in the wild. And that's a case we have in the Longxi Hongkou natural habitat. There was a giant panda that was hurt because the bamboo got stuck, and the panda came to Dujiangyan to see a doctor to seek help. And after the care of veterinarians, the panda got better and was released back into the forest in the natural habitat. And that's what we refer to as forest number 1. It's been almost 7, 8, or 10 years, and we are continuously monitoring this giant panda individual in the wild, and it seems that it's doing okay. So that's the first step, to see if the individual can live and survive in the wild, because as a grown giant panda, it doesn't face many threats except human activities, but now that's out of the picture and they don't have any predators, so that step has been successful.
像我们还有一个也是熊猫放出去案例，就是叫卢星，也是将它救护以后放到了李子坪吧，是自然保护区。这只熊猫我们跟踪监测，它已经完全融入了地方种群，并且非常好的是，它的 baby 有新的个体的出生啊，说明说熊猫的这种放归还是非常成功的一个案例。
Another very successful case of returning giant panda into the wild is called Wuxing. It's also a giant panda rescue which was returned to the Liziping natural habitat. And with our monitoring, it shows that this individual has integrated quite well to the local community. And the very good news is that this giant panda has had a baby. And this is a quite successful story.
我们第一步成问我们的考虑，首先它要生存，第二个它能不能参与繁殖，这个问题我们解决，那我们就进行在大熊猫圈养大熊猫进行培育，然后经过叫什么？经过这个 training 吧，培训经过培训以后，再将它放到野外。我们在李子坪这个地方也放了几只，除了个别熊猫以外，大部分熊猫都融入到这个地方种群，并且也增加了地方种群的数量，也加强了改善了地方种群的遗传多样性的现状。
So these are the two steps. The first step is to make sure that they can survive in the wild, and the second is to see if they can be part of the procreation of the local panda groups. So in general, from the pandas that are being kept by humans to breeding them and training them, preparing them for returning into the wild. We've had a few more individuals reintroduced into the wild in Liziping natural habitat. Most of these individuals have integrated quite well into the local groups, which is important in increasing that population and improving the genetic diversity.
说，最后问您的问题，技术永远是我们未来的发展的重点。我们熊猫现在的监测技术的话，还是采用的这个 GPS 的颈圈，但是由于我们在这个地方的网络不一定非常好，所以说我们很多还是要靠我们的人力去监测熊猫。所以在未来的话，华为呀这些搞 AI 的、搞这个技术的同志们，如果能在这方面贡献他们的智慧，就会让我们对放出这些熊猫在监测方面发挥更加重要的作用。
as to your last part of the question about how technologies can make a difference, I believe technologies will be key in the future, especially for the monitoring of giant pandas. Currently, we still rely on the GPS collars to monitor them, but sometimes in certain locations the network doesn't work very well, and in most cases we still have to do the monitoring manually. But in the future, with the contribution and the support of companies like Huawei and other parties that can offer the AI expertise, we can improve the monitoring efficiency of those giant pandas.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next question, please. Lady in the white jacket, please.
各位专家好，财经杂志的记者，是想问一个问题。那么现在一些观点认为呢，大熊猫所面临的最大的问题不是数量的问题，而是栖息地破碎化的问题。所以您刚才有提到嘛，想问一下这个问题将来要怎么样去解决？谢谢。
Hello, I'm from Finance Magazine. The question is, some people say that the biggest challenge facing the giant pandas are not its population, but the fragmentation of their habitats. What do you think this can be? How do you think this can be addressed?
对，大熊猫确实我们从濒危已经降到易危。我和我的合作者 Ron Swissgood 圣地亚哥动物园的，我们曾经也写一篇文章，就讲大熊猫如果保护不好的话，它又会回到濒危的等级。我一直在讲，原来大家非常悲观对熊猫，认为大熊猫已经走到了演化的尽头 ，evolutionary dead end。实际上，这都是根据我们传统的一些观点认为，大熊猫专食竹子不好。第二，大熊猫繁殖力低；第三，大熊猫是一个下降的种群，等等等等，说大家对熊猫的保护非常悲观，特别是80年代。实际上，经过我们长期的研究，首先大熊猫虽然竹子营养不好，大熊猫对竹子产生了一系列的适应，它的繁殖率并不像我们原来所说的很低。实际上我们可以看到，我们圈养种群的增长，我们是从数量上到质量的一个转变，不是要让它是那么多，我们是要优生优育。第三一个方面，就是我们谈到的，它的种群是一个下降的种群，你可以从几次大熊猫调查来看，它是一个增长的种群。特别是中国政府在大熊猫保护上付出了艰辛的努力，建立了那么多的保护区，又建立了国家公园。所以说，等等这些措施以及科学上的发现，就预示着大熊猫并不是一个走向了演化尽头的物种。还有其加一点就是遗传多样性，原来认为大熊猫遗传多样性很低。实际上，我们现在发现大熊猫的遗传多样性远远高于其他一动物，是我们金丝猴的10倍。说我们的认知是不断的发展的，说我们现在认为大熊猫是一个没有走到演化尽头的物种。先到这儿，我们再说后面。
Thank you for the question. The giant pandas threat level has been downgraded from endangered to vulnerable. I worked with a collaborator from San Diego Zoo, and we believe that if they are not well protected, it can fall back to being endangered. In the past, people were pretty pessimistic about the outlook of giant pandas, especially in the 80s. They thought that giant pandas were at the dead end of evolution because they only feed on bamboos, they had low procreation rate, and it's a declining species. But based on our long-term research, we have shown that these claims were not true. Even though they only feed on bamboos, which are not highly nutritious, they have adapted quite well to this kind of food. And the it's not wise to say that the procreation rate is low, because we need to focus on the quality rather than just quantity. And in terms of the saying that it's a declining species, the multiple rounds of panda population census has shown that it is a growing population, very much thanks to the hard work supported by the Chinese government in the protection of this species, also in the work done at the natural reserves and the Giant Panda National Park. As for the genetic diversity of this species, people used to think that it's quite low, but that's not true. It's actually higher than many other species. The genetic diversity of giant pandas is 10 times that of snub-nosed monkeys. So these facts that people used to believe were not true.
说，当然，熊猫还面临着最重要的一个威胁，我们叫做栖息地破碎化。现在熊猫经过调查，我们现在被划分成为33个局域种群，其中有的种群数量，特别是相邻山系南边凉山山系，有的种群非常小，有的只有10几只，有的20来只，对吧？然后呢，这些种群怎么办？那我们就是说要更加的关注，采取人为的干预的措施。2个最重要的措施，一就是放归，第二就是栖息道廊道的建设。通过这些措施的实施，会对栖息的破碎化有明确的改善。我觉得未来是我们研究以及我们保护的重点。谢谢大家，谢谢你啊。
It is true that an important threat facing giant panda population is the fragmentation of habitats. Based on our survey among the 32 local groups, there are some very small ones, such as in Yangshan Mountain and in Shanxi. Some of those groups have only around 20 or dozens of individuals. We need to pay more attention to such small groups. Conducting human interventions with mainly 2 key measures. One is the reintroduction of artificially bred pandas into the wild and protecting their habitats. And these measures will contribute positively to the giant panda conservation. And that will be the priority for our research and conservation efforts.
Thank you. Now let's move to our last question of the day. And I saw that gentleman raise his hand a few times.
好，谢谢各位老师。我有2个问题啊。第一个，咱们让魏院士稍微休息一下，我想问一下冉老师。
太贴心了，太贴心了。
谢谢你。
就是刚才咱们魏院士提到，就是希望10年后越来越多的数字技术运用到咱们的生物保护多样性上，就是说。如果让您选择一样，就是运用到接下来的5调中，您最希望的是哪一种技术？就是原因是什么？然后第2个问题就是也想请问在座的各位老师啊，今天我们就在熊猫谷不仅看到了大熊猫，也看到了小熊猫。就是相对于大熊猫而言，小熊猫的知名度远远没有那么高。就是说，就是现在对于小熊猫的保护处于一个什么样的水平？未来是否会有一定的变化？谢谢老师。
我在这位的问题后面补充一个问题，借谈问题，就是小熊猫和小浣熊，大家可能有的时候就会混为一谈，也请一会儿回答的时候给大家科谱，谢谢。
你来答吧，
因为two questions. The first question is to Professor Ran. As academician Wei mentioned, that he hopes to see in 10 years more digital technologies being applied in biodiversity protection. If you are to select one technology to be applied in the 5th census, which one would you choose and why? The second question is to all the panelists. We know that in the Panda Valley there are giant pandas and red pandas. Red pandas are not as famous as giant pandas. Can you share with us how the conservation of red pandas are currently and how will it change in the future? Also, if you can help us tell the difference between the red pandas and raccoons, it would also be helpful.
好，谢谢啊。因为
从第一个问题来看的话，如果从我最想的话，解决问题的时候，其实我第一个想是因为华为好，现在新的技术能不能搞一个局域网的技术？是因为我们爬山了，出去也是10来天了，走上去没有信号，几个沟都没联系不通啊，这个是最惨的。说能够我们在短期，包括我们人摔了，都要人跑下来走几天，说能够这样至少能够我们人的通讯保证人的安全上，包括救援上，我有保障。因为我不能买这么多卫星电话呀，卫星电话有时候都没有信号，都没有。说能够这样的，能够保证我们一个10几个人的团队或者20几个人的团队相互之间能够通点信号，我都认为这也是对我们的工作的一个最大的帮助。第二呢，如果从幻想的角度的话，如果能实现的话，是最希望我们能够怎么快速的找到熊猫的新型分辨和发现熊猫的个体，这个是我最希望的。因为我们满山遍野找啊，你说爬上去在哪儿不知道啊，粪便在哪儿，个体在哪儿，这个费力费时，人上去了下不来，有危险，能够快速的寻找到，这是我最想的。如果从技术上的这上来讲哈，第三那个呢，就是我们这样一些在野外，好，翻译一下，好。
If I can choose, first of all, I want to have something like a local area network for us, our teams in the field, 10, 20 people, to be able to talk to each other when we travel in the mountains, because we want to know if someone in our team has fallen, if we can get to this person quickly and where. This is crucial for the safety of our forest rangers. It's not feasible to get everyone a satellite phone, and sometimes in areas there is no satellite signals even. So the communication is really a strong need for us. And if I'm given even more innovations, I hope that there will be technologies that can help us discover fresh panda species and individuals even, so that we don't have to look for them all over the mountains.
好，最后一个也是属于调查相关的话，其实我们是希望能够把我们这个记录，因为我们以前最开始是纸记，第3次调查的时候，第4次呢我们做了 PDA， 但很大，它的图上不多，能够把记录、GPS 定位和传输，因为有时候我们的人下不来的时候，肯定有些数据会丢失，没电的会丢失，辛辛苦的东西，能够把这个给我们在野外的记录和传输，而且进小型化，我们认为这是我们我调这个技术就比我们前2次就会先进得多，人也会方便得多，记录会更有效得多。好，谢谢。
And for the survey, for the census, I hope that we can integrate data recording, GPS, and transmission technologies into a small device. Because in the 3rd census, we relied on pens and papers. In the 4th one, we had some PDA devices, but they were quite large. If we can integrate all these functionalities in a small device to use in the 5th survey, it will make it much more convenient and efficient.
好吧，我来回答你提出的第2个问题，因为我研究小熊猫也很多年，因为我也给大家科普一下小熊猫，小熊猫确实受到大家的关注，没有大熊那么高，但是我们的小熊猫比真正称为 first panda 第一个熊猫，因为小熊猫最早是在1825年发现，给它取的名字就叫 panda。1869年 Pierre David 在宝兴发现大熊猫，正式跟它科学命名以后，因为它们之间share很多相似之处，都90%以上吃竹子。2一个它有一个尾目子，说看它们的形态特征很相似，觉得它也是熊猫，也给了它一个 panda 这个名字。然后呢，就把原来那个熊猫，就我们第一个熊猫，把它改成 lesser panda， 这个呢就加了一个 giant panda， 是吧？或者那个熊猫叫 red panda。实际上，中国人民 早都知道大熊猫这个物种，并不说是老外发现了大熊猫，是外国科学家跟他正式命名了大熊猫，这个科学命名是中国最传统的，在我们史、尔雅、圣经很多书里面都有大熊猫的记载，我们也叫黑白熊的记载。我先翻译。
Actually, I've also been working on the research of red pandas for years. I understand that red pandas receive less attention than giant pandas, but actually, red pandas are the first pandas. They were discovered the earliest back in 1825 and was named originally as panda. And then later on, when Pierre David discovered giant panda in Baoxing in China for the first time, he named giant panda as giant panda because of the similarity it had with the red pandas, and the red panda was renamed to be lesser panda or red panda. The similarities included that they both fed on bamboos, they both have a little finger, and in China we have known about the existence of giant pandas since ancient times. It's just that it was discovered by foreign scholars and given a scientific name. Back in thousands of years ago in the ancient poetry, they were referred to as black and white bears.
小熊猫的分布不仅仅在中国，其实它也分布在尼泊尔、不丹、缅甸和印度这些国家。原来我们小熊猫把它分成2个亚种，一个是就是喜马拉雅亚种，一个是叫做川西亚种。川西亚种就是在我们中国的这个叫做平武的施尔发现的啊。现在经过我们研究，通过基因组一系列的研究，发现这2个亚种应该独立成2个种，一个叫喜马拉雅小熊猫，一个叫做中华小熊猫。为什么要把它独立？从它的形态上来看，有一些差异。更为重要的是，它的遗传完全是分开的，没有任何基因交流。不管是从它的genome上来看，或者是线粒体 DNA 来看，还有从它的种群历史来看，尼泊尔这个种群是一直在往下面走，而中华小熊猫这个种群是先有个下降，再一个回升，再下降的趋势，所以说这2个种群完全不一样。所以我们现在把它当成2个种来考虑，是中华小熊猫和尼泊尔小熊猫。
As for the distribution of red pandas, they not only exist in China but also in countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Burma, and India. Actually, red pandas were classified into 2 subspecies, one named as Himalaya red pandas and the other named as Sichuan West red pandas. But according to the latest genomics research, we believe that they should be 2 independent species, the Himalaya red pandas and the Chinese red pandas, because they not only differ in appearances, but also, more importantly, they have independent genetics, and there is no genetic exchange between these 2 species. They are independent in genome, in DNA, and the history of their species. The Himalayas red pandas have a continuous history, while Chinese red pandas had some fluctuations, declining, increasing, and declining again. So these 2 are independent species, Himalaya red pandas and Chinese red pandas.
像小熊猫的生存状态跟大熊猫也是面临着同样的。像随着我们栖息环境的改善，小熊猫的种群也在改善，种群数量也在增加。 小熊猫在国际上还是很受关注，它已经被列入到我们的濒危物种贸易公约 CITES 公约的附录1里面，是严格限制这个国际贸易，说我们对它的关注还是很多的。当然，老百姓可能关注的更加少一些，科学界还是非常非常好。我也希望能够大家更多的宣传我们保小熊猫，让大家更多的了解。看上去小熊猫确实跟浣熊 raccoon 很相似，但是它们的亲缘关系是非常远的，包括大熊猫和小熊猫的亲缘关系也是非常远的。我来说一句，大熊猫是我们所有熊的里面的一种，而不是它属于熊科里面的大熊猫。而小熊猫呢，属于幼超科里面的小熊猫科。
As for the survival of red pandas, they face similar threats as giant pandas, but as their natural habitats improve, the population is also improving. Red pandas actually receive lots of attention internationally. It's listed in the Appendix 1 of CITES Treaty for the trade of endangered species. It's strictly restricted. But I still hope that more people can help raise the awareness on red pandas and their living environment. Some people confuse them with raccoons, but they are actually very different, even though they look slightly similar. They are completely two different species, and the red pandas and giant pandas are also very different. Giant panda is a kind of bear, while red panda belong to its own category of red pandas.
谢谢。
谢谢 Thank you all. We spent just really wonderful 2 hours today together. 今天我们的2个小时，我相信大家可能跟我一样收获都很丰富。然后接下来我就想跟在线的朋友讲，今天可能大家没有机会在我们的会场像我们一样感受到周围的大自然、树木、竹子，然后在我们不远处就有大熊猫和小熊猫，我们也能听到旁边山上山谷流下来的小溪的声音，真的是在大自然的怀抱里。今天我们做
and chilly in the cradle of this forest. So I hope that one day you can truly pay a visit to Panda Valley in person. And I would like to thank our distinguished panelists. Thank you very much. Are you all from Sichuan? Mr. Wei says, I'm from Chongqing, which is also part of Sichuan, of course. Mr. Ran says he is also Chongqing local and Sichuan local.
I was inviting everyone to, if you have chance and if the global travel become better, come to Sichuan. It's a wonderful place. And also come to the Panda Valley where we are today. We can hear the streams from the valley and we can hear the sound of the tree leaves, and you have no idea what I'm experiencing. Just welcome to come here one day. I think that's a wrap. Thank you very much. 让我们掌声感谢今天的嘉宾，谢谢大家，也感谢在场的媒体朋友，我们的护林员。
你去过吗？我去过。
请让等 ，Please hold 1 second. I have.